All right, live from Studio 6B, 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night. Slickster's in the house. He's going to do some sports. I'm back after $300 and a new tire.
Oh.
I mean, Kevin Downey Jr. is here. He's going to do some news as well. I mean, not to prolong this, but I go back there and I said, hey, you had this here the other day and you took the tire off and then you put it back on and said there's nothing wrong with it. I said, it's flat this morning. So I go there this morning and he puts the car back on the lift and he goes, oh, look at this. Calls me over. And I said, well, what'd you find? He goes, well, we got a big gash in the tire. I can't replace it. I'm like, well, how did you miss this yesterday? I haven't driven the car. I drove the car home from you and now back to you. So $300 and a new tire later, I'm here.
Was he a DEI tire there?
I don't know.
We saw you on the show last night. All of a sudden, you look very deflated, and we didn't see you anymore.
Yeah, it just was a nightmare. Total nightmare. So,
Total disaster.
Harry on the highway is calling me at 8 o'clock as we go on air.
Speaking of disaster.
Can someone explain this to me? He can't call me at 7:50 or 7:55. He calls me at 8 o'clock. He knows we start at 8 o'clock, but he's in Chicago. Avoiding Antifa, I guess. So maybe he forgot that he's an hour behind. He thinks it's 7 o'clock. I don't know. So I don't know what Harry wants, Fran. Maybe you want to reach out to him and see. But anyways, there's lots to do on a busy Wednesday night. Night 3 of the DNC. I saw no singing, no national anthem renditions, at least that they posted, unlike day 2 that they posted there, the Golden Girls singing. But there'll be some speeches tonight that I guess we'll try to stomach. Tim Walz, I guess, is the feature tonight. We will not stomach him because he's not till. I mean, I don't know how they do this timing. They think people want to stay up and watch this crap. Tim Walz won't take the stage till I guess like Biden time, right? Like 11 o'clock or something.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
And I was thinking about this today, and I guess I'm not surprised. But we have had the current. Well, I don't know. Should we call him sitting president or lying down president? I don't know. Lying at the beach president. We've had the current sitting president. We had a former president in Obama, former first lady in Michelle, former first lady in Hillary, former secretary of state in Hillary. We've had, obviously, Chuck Schumer, Bernie Sanders. You have not heard from any of those speakers a single word about Israel.
That's true.
Not a single solitary word from a speaker of any important, I think a speaker total, period, about Israel whatsoever. Not from the former president, not from the sitting president, not from either former first lady,
Chucky.
Not from the former secretary of state, Hillary Clinton. Not a single word at the DNC convention. And I say this not in, everybody's going, well, duh, no kidding, Damon. I'm just pointing it out. I just want to remind the American people, because I don't think that sits well with most. But this is where this party is at. So we'll get into a little more of that. Night 3 comes tonight. Kevin Downey Jr. is here. How are you?
Good, thank you. Big D, can I point out, they're saying a lot about Israel outside the convention.
Oh, yeah, we heard that.
Yeah, right. The closest, that's a good point. The closest thing we've gotten was Joe Biden saying the people outside have a point.
Did you hear they put up a third wall to keep them out?
No, did they?
They had one fence, and then they put another. Now there's a third fence that Antifa is trying to eat through, so they can try to claw through, so that they can go jump all over Chuck Schumer, who last night was talking about how Trump is anti-Semitic. Like, dude, they're outside trying to eat you right now. Your people. Trump, oh yeah, that's the guy who, the first president ever to go to the Wailing Wall. First president to say, you know what? Let's move the embassy to Jerusalem, the capital of Israel. But somehow Trump's the bad guy.
Yeah, his son-in-law, his daughter, his grandkids. No, he's the one. As all the self-haters take the stage in the Democrat first three nights here. Bernie Sanders, Chuck Schumer, I'm sure others who I'm not thinking of.
It's all these has-beens. It's like bad bands from the 80s all working at the Kentucky State Fair. Hey, we've got Shirley and Pepsi, the backup singers from Wham, coming up next. Stick around.
Winger takes the stage next.
Wake me up.
I mean, it's unbelievable. And then they try to get away with this whole hope and joy thing. I noticed at night one, it's just continued. I mean, the Obamas last night, as if they've got the stranglehold on decency. Those two, like they're the only ones. Like they redefined the "we go high" when they go. They just like they're. I mean, it's like they think they just must think everybody is lost, or the drones that listen to them and are sitting there in the hall just. It goes in one ear, out the other, and they just sit there and fawn and look at them and go, oh, it's Barack and Michelle. And they don't actually listen to anything they say. As they sit there and complain about the rich, and they complain about she says, my mother was always, curious about people who took too much. Meanwhile, these people are worth probably a couple $100 million. He charges who knows how many millions to go speak. She does the same. They've both put out books. It never ends with the capitalism for them.
I know.
But she gets up there and says, my mother was really always concerned about people who took more than we thought they needed or something like that. And then tonight, Oprah's going to be there.
The Obamas have 4 mansions, Big D. Yeah. They got a $100 million deal from Netflix to provide shows or whatever. They've never come up with a show in their lives. Tell me that wasn't a payoff from the deep state. Believe me, folks, if they want to hand you $100 million through Netflix or whatever, the Soros can get together with BlackRock, or they can pay you off, and that's what it is. AOC got a $10 million deal to write a book before she was anyone. So, and that's what they did with Barack, too. Remember, they gave him 2 book deals, little walking around cash, little jingle jangle in the pocket. And when he proved himself to be a good little apparatchik, he was done. He got the $100 million deal, I believe it was, from Netflix to produce content. It's a payoff.
I mean, like you said, they got 4 houses. They got one in Hawaii, one in Martha's Vineyard, but they'll tell you about global warming they're worried about. They got all this oceanfront beach property, but they're worried about global warming. I mean, it's just, but don't worry, they're all for abortion, so that's really all that matters.
I know.
That's really all that matters.
That's disgusting.
For the audience there at the DNC. Oh. Meanwhile, there's a report out that the Biden administration, well, do I call it the Biden administration or I call it the Harris administration? What do I call it now? I think it's the Harris-Biden administration that we're currently in anyways, so we'll just call it that. That they can't keep track of, I don't know what the number is, 300,000 kids that they think have maybe been trafficked across the border. That they can't keep, they have no tabs on where these kids might be. But don't worry, we're for the, she's for the kids. They're all for the kids when it comes to women's health, and but they're for abortion too. But they're for the kids just check your common sense at the door, because you'll get whiplash.
Yeah, they don't care about the hundreds of thousands of kids being trafficked sexually, as long as the wealthy parents can have their 14-year-old boy's penis lopped off at will. That's all we care about here. Now you're on the right side. It makes me sick. And you know what? What will it take for people to go, you know what, I think I'm done with these Democrats. I think I got blocked by some guy today.
I don't know.
Some guy said, Doug Elhoff. Is that how you say Kamala's husband's name?
No.
Emhoff.
Emhoff, thank you. He goes, that's a gentleman right there, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, how's he feel about those Jew-hating bigots that his wife supports? And I got blocked. I just asked him a question.
That's a good question. That's a good question, too.
That's a legitimate question.
Right, because isn't he he's Jewish?
Yeah.
Of course.
That's true. Of course. That's why he's asking.
Yeah, you heard nothing from, I forgot him in my list of people. We didn't hear anything from him.
Nope.
Of course, how can he? I mean, he's got to go home with her. And all of her buddies are outside.
With a stroke of her pen, she'll send him to prison.
Yeah, she sides with the enemy. As does Biden, as does the party. Biden says they have a point. That's the closest you got to hearing any talk about Israel from the Democratic Party on this convention platform, was Biden saying the people outside who are assaulting cops, assaulting Ben Bergquam, burning the American flag, calling her Killer Kamala, the river to the sea crowd out there. Biden says they have a point.
The Hitler Youth has a point, Big D. We're wrong. We're right-wing wackos.
Yeah. And so tonight, I'm sure will be more of the same. I think Fran sent me the list of who's speaking tonight. Obviously, the Waltz is I guess. Does Waltz remind anybody else of like Richard Simmons in his prime? Like when he comes out on stage? Did anybody see this guy come out on stage? Yeah. I mean, it looks like he just got done doing jazzercise, or he's just coming to warm up to do
That's true.
like jazzercise or something. He's just they call Vance weird. I mean, this guy is this guy is out there, man. Like, what is with the what's with the energy?
People
did you see him take the stage the other night?
Yeah. People dressed as IUDs are calling Vance weird.
Exactly. Exactly.
Did you see Schumer dance out to the Joe Biden shuffle?
I did see a highlight of it since I missed it live. I mean, Schumer's just he is.
Oh, he was awful.
He is the low of the low, man. You go into the forest and you pick up like an old tree bark, and underneath it, there's all that.
Yeah,
that's Schumer. That's just
Schmegma.
Yeah, just God, find a shower after you spend some time with him. That greaseball, God.
Woo.
I mean, so tonight, here's what we have. Starting at right about now, we have the Representative Escobar from Texas. So we don't need to hear from her. Oh, look at here. The Honorable Chris Murphy, U.S. Senator from Connecticut and classmate of Big D. Same high school. I think he was behind me. I'm a little older. And I'm just shocked. Just embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Javier Salazar from Texas, sheriff. Pete Aguilar, chair of the House Democrat Caucus. So a bunch of nobodies right now. Let's see, the Honorable Jeff Duncan, former Lieutenant Governor of Georgia. Of course he's there. Oh, look, they got a Republican on stage. Oh, look, Ana Navarro. She's the Republican, from The View. Did you see her? I can't believe this. Okay, yeah. That's like Jeff Duncan, former Lieutenant Governor of Georgia. That's like, where's Adam Kinzinger so they can bill another Republican at the... Oh, Benny Thompson's going to be there. Okay, we're going to hear from Benny, and maybe he'll talk about the January 6th committee that he led and all the evidence they hid and destroyed. Probably not. Let's see. Andy Kim. What's this influencer remarks? Who are these? Like these influencers that they bring to the White House to do these stupid TikToks? Is that what this means?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, Stevie Wonder is going to proceed. This is, as a musician, this is what saddens me because I love Stevie Wonder.
Yeah,
some of the greatest albums ever recorded in the history of music.
Yep.
But you know what? He can't see what's going on, so I can't blame him for that. So maybe that's what it is.
Rumor has it he's doing a Prince song. Somebody told me. Watch, I'm really curious to see what that is.
Okay, so that'll be. These are Eastern time, so that'll be in this hour, Slick. So maybe if we can catch it, we'll see what it is. And then at 9 o'clock, the list continues to go. Mindy Kaling, I think she's like an actress or something from some show.
Yeah.
Hakeem Jeffries, the next to wannabe in this Marxist party. We'll see him. Then, of course, we got BJ, Bill Jefferson Clinton. And then the Honorable Nancy Pelosi. We'll see how much she's drank before she gets to the microphone. Then Governor of Pennsylvania, Shapiro.
She's with Bill at the cigar bar.
I mean, so just, I don't know. Not much. Pete Buttigieg tonight after the 10 o'clock hour. John Legend, Klobuchar. I mean, God, Waltz will take the stage at like 1 a.m. Crazy. Timing of this is crazy.
We're saying...
We're live in the social media. Sorry, last night we were not live because, of course, I was home.
Yeah, people were upset.
Yeah, it's because when we stream the stream goes through my setup here. And if I'm not here, it's not going. So apologize for that. Everybody on social media, make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you like the content. It really does help us out. If you could like and subscribe, hit the thumbs up, whatever platform you're on. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Mark Simone says, B.J. Clinton, good one, Big D. Well, it's Bill Jefferson. That's really what I meant. Nothing else.
Like you see it.
What were you inferring on?
Yeah.
What were you inferring? What?
Mark Simone, the radio guy?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Let's see. Big D. What's going on, Tina on YouTube? Kimberly on YouTube. Chris on YouTube. Rebecca on Facebook. Jerry Mullins on Facebook. What's going on?
I'm out.
James Taylor got canned. I heard that.
Wow, what
Sweet
happened
baby
there?
James got canned. I think, I don't know the timing.
You don't got a friend, huh?
Yeah, he ain't got no friends.
You don't got a friend. Do.
Another guy I just love and just supports. I mean, Buffett was the same way. He was a big supporter of
he's wasting
Biden.
away.
Just
Margarita.
kills me.
Yeah, they got a lot of these good artists. Unfortunately, libs. There he is. Delgado.
Hello, Julian Martinez on Facebook. What's going on? Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, everybody.
What's up, baby?
James Taylor apologized for being canceled. He got canceled and then apologized. So
Wow.
There you go. What's up, Tommy Viper?
Makes sense.
What's going on, everybody?
He really sings the corporate narrative. Huh?
Big D, Buzzard. Did you see Lindell? I did see Lindell. A little bit, shaved his mustache. Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. We could go undercover. He met up with that little sissy, hairy sissy boy.
Who is that clown?
Oh, he's such a dork.
He's a fake
Influencer.
Yeah. That's a total dork.
How you doing, baby?
How was Cabo?
Yeah, what's going on? Was there a big line at Cabo Fresh? Oh,
Let's look how's you working a second job. At
yeah,
Cabo.
we got you working a second job, coming in late every night. you call this a job?
He was trying to be like serious and try to sell it. What's up, Dale, on
can't get it
YouTube?
past Big
Make sure
D.
you hit the like and subscribe.
Inspector Clueless.
Tell us what you really think, Big D. Well, I usually do. Gets me in trouble most of the time.
Big D. Magic Johnson, mocked for calling the Obama's DNC speeches the best in the history of our country.
Oh, I mean,
I got to run that one.
Another.
He's another.
You should look up.
What, the Cowboys had a
You should
fire
look
in
up
their
his.
hotel?
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Real America's Voice, night 3 of the DNC. Let's. What do we got, Aaron? We got a live picture. We don't need any sound from these clowns, but who's up there? Anybody? I guess I just went through the list. There's nobody I have any interest in. Even well, maybe I don't know.
Stevie Wonder.
What do we have? Who's up there? Have we already missed Chris Murphy? Probably, because he was closer to the top of the hour. Do we have a live shot or no? Oh, it's on the. Oh, sorry. Oh, there he is right now. That's good. That's Murphy. Okay, let's hear just 5 seconds of this clown.
That's too long.
From Wethersfield, Connecticut.
Is only one candidate. There is only one candidate
Yeah.
who can deliver that vision of America, and it's Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. That's
Thank you
enough.
very much, Democrats.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
Perfect.
Bye.
Yeah, that's
perfect
it.
timing.
That
What vision is that? The vision that we
That was the vision Stevie Wonder has.
The vision that we raise every tax through the roof. The vision that we tax unrealized gains so that people that actually don't have, you're going to get taxed at for the benefit of having ownership in this country for private property rights. You're going to get taxed on it. So if you have your house has gained value in the last couple of years as the government prints money. See, here's the vibe. They turn the printers on. They print a whole bunch of money. They make all of our assets go through the roof, and then they say, "Oh, by the way, you owe us 25% for the benefit of owning that every single year." And you say, "Well, I haven't realized any gains. I haven't sold it." Well, that's I guess on you. Because that is what Kamala Harris has endorsed. That is what Joe Biden has endorsed. That is absolutely, if they control all 3 branches of government, if they control the House, the Senate, and the executive branch, that's absolutely what they will push. They will push for a 25% unrealized capital gains tax, or an unrealized tax, or they'll call it a wealth tax, stealth tax, call it whatever the hell you want, ownership tax, doesn't really matter. But if you have a house that you bought for $200,000, and 5 years later it's worth $600,000, guess what they're going to tell you? Well, you owe us on that $400,000 difference. Well, I don't have it. Well, too bad. If you're a business owner and you're a billionaire and you have a big business and they say, well, the business is worth X, well, we want 25% of that. If you've got some old painting in the... Now, I don't know who's going to tell you what these things are worth, but someone's from the government's going to come in and say, well, that painting you have, that's a one of one. It's $1 million. We'd like $250,000, please. What? You heard us. So people who own houses will have to sell their houses because you can't pay that then you'll be renting. People who have businesses who employ people who then pay their family, for them to support their family. They won't have businesses because businesses won't stay in business. And you'll all end up just hoping that the government's going to give you handouts or something like that. Because that's the American vision that Chris Murphy says only one person can bring. He's right about that. That's the vision that only she and that party can bring. That's not the vision that we would like to bring. That's the vision that they want to bring. That is, get rid of the Electoral College, get rid of the Supreme Court, get rid of, make 2 more senators out of D.C. and Puerto Rico. Whatever gives us eternal power. Get rid of the Electoral College so we can choose the president forever, and the Democrat will win because we'll choose it out of New York, California, Illinois, the big blue, iron-fisted, top-down Democrat-run cities. Well, we'll get rid of the Supreme Court. We'll make sure they can only be in there for a certain amount of time. Plus, we'll pack 8-9 people of our guys in there. That's the vision that they want to bring. We'll have no borders. We'll have no police. That's the vision that they signed on to. Not this hope and joy, we love America nonsense that we've heard for 2, now going to be 3 nights at this sham convention with a candidate who's received no primary votes. No voters have ever said, yeah, she's the one for me, ever. They knifed the guy in the back who got 14 million votes. They stabbed him in the back, and they installed her, and now they're trying to hide her. And they're trying to hide her agenda, which is the one I just laid out. That's what's going on here. And we need to be very clear about it and what the policies are and how it will affect you, your family, your business, your life. Because the people in that hall are just clapping seals, drones, who have no idea what these policies or what their espouse even are. So that's the future we face if somehow she's able to win this election. All right, let's do some sports. 22 past the hour. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, who I did see shave off his mustache and go undercover at the DNC. And he confronted that little sissy Harry Sisson and others. So we'll see what else he comes up with. Mike Lindell, let's support Mike Lindell by shopping there and support the show by using our code LFS6B. If you can shop at MyPillow, use LFS6B at checkout. We always appreciate when you do. And we try to show that by giving away our shirt of the month absolutely free. If you used our code, send that email to LFS6B at yahoo.com, the confirmation email showing that you used the code, and we'll get the shirt of the month, which is the election shirt. It's Trump's outline in the red, white, and blue. November 5th, it says, "We the people." It's a good-looking shirt. We'll send it to you absolutely free. Slick, what's going on?
All right, Big D to the diamond. Major League Baseball scores. Here we go. Marlins over the Diamondbacks 6-3, top of the 6th. Top of the 5th, Twins pounding the Padres 10-0. Nationals shutting out the Rockies 6-0, bottom of the 6th. Mid-5th, Yankees blanking the Guardians 7-0. Blue Jays lead the Reds 6-2, top of the 5th. Mid-4th, no score, Phillies and Braves. Also no score, Brewers and Cardinals in St. Louis. That's in the top of the 3rd. Top of the 2nd, again, no score, Tigers and Cubs. Angels at the Royals, no score as well, top of the 2nd. Mets 4-3 over the Orioles, final from earlier today. Red Sox down the Astros 4-1. Rangers nipped the Pirates 1-0, and the White Sox beat the Giants 6-2. Coming up tonight, 9:40, Rays at the Athletics in Oakland. Oakland getting down to the wire. They'll be in Vegas soon. And the Dodgers, of course, hosting the late game tonight at 10:10, first pitch in L.A. Dodger Stadium, hosting the Seattle Mariners. Little League Baseball World Series action. Shreveport, Pennsylvania. Here we go. Lake Mary, Florida, right now leading Wailuku, Hawaii, 4-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Chinese Taipei down Tokyo, Japan today, 3-1. Bourne, Texas, 5-2 over Henderson, Nevada. And Barquisimeto, Venezuela, 11-3 over Tamaulipas, Mexico. So that's the scoop there, 11-3. That was a double elimination game. So we'll keep track. Little League World Series winding down, Big D. Well, some news in the NFL. Fire breaks out at Dallas Cowboys training camp hotel in California. Dylan Winter, Breitbart. Oh, yeah, old Jerry was burning those DNA tests. A fire. I didn't say that. A fire broke out on Tuesday night at a condo where the Dallas Cowboys hold their training camp. Players were not present at the time, and no one was injured. The Cowboys released a statement thanking firefighters and giving some information about the incident. Can't wait to hear this one. Here we go. There was a fire emergency in one of the guest rooms this afternoon. I wonder if Michael Irvin was at the hotel in Oxnard, California. The statement read in Pro Football Talk. The emergency was contained to one room, which was empty at the time, and there were no injuries. The Dallas Cowboys thanked the Oxnard Fire Department and Oxnard Police Department for their quick response and reaction to the situation. Apparently, that room was a coach's room, Big D, and it had the Dallas Cowboys game plan man for the entire 2024 season. Went up in smoke.
Yeah.
Kind of how I'm feeling. I'm throwing him under the bus already. Oh, man, I'm going to get killed for this. But, so fire there. No quote from old Jerry, but thankfully there were no players there. In fact, they should be on their way back now, wrapping up camp, because they have a game. They're hosting the Los Angeles Chargers in Dallas on Saturday night for their final preseason game at AT&T Stadium, Big D. So, anyway, a little fire, a little action. About time somebody lights a fire under their butts, that team, because they don't know where they're going to go this
And
year.
how are you feeling about your team in week 1 as a 2.5-point underdog in Cleveland?
Yeah, Cleveland's got a really good defense. I took them in my fantasy league, which that's another story for a later time. But yes, they're going to have a tough season, Big D. I really think so. And they haven't signed CeeDee Lamb yet, too, so that's troubling as well. I think they're going to have a tough game. Cleveland, they win that one. And that's a wrap.
Odds makers, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Getting kicked up. College football this week. Got to find some guests, Aaron. Got to go through those emails.
I'll have to call in Friday night.
All right, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this. All right, we're live in the chat on social media. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, whatever platform you're on. Always helps if you subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, comment. Any engagement always helps. See what's going on in the X chat, YouTube, Facebook, Kick, Rumble.
Aaron's back.
There it is back.
I can get him. Who's on the left?
Oh.
Delgado, you on the left now?
Do you want me to?
Someone said, did the Pirates stink?
The Pirates do stink. Yeah, they're
Okay.
in last place in the NL Central. And the
I'm gonna stay right here.
the Reds are right there with them, Big D. They're both fighting for the basement.
Big D, you know that you can see the messages, tap on scroll messages backwards? I'm not sure what that means.
It means you don't know what you're doing.
I get all the messages in one place
I'm
here.
still off center.
Yeah, I gotta fix.
Oh, okay.
I had a
Gotcha.
I thought you were more to the right.
What do you eat?
I don't even want to say.
What is that, a chocolate chip cookie?
No, it's a
no,
crappy pie
cherry
from
pie.
7-Eleven.
Oh.
Not 7-Eleven.
It's 7-Eleven. He's got a pie, a cherry pie.
Cherry pie.
Oh, and if you buy a coffee, you get the pie for $1.
No,
that it?
No.
Oh.
That might be. Wait, what's the one across the street?
Speedway.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Damon, sing please, Joni on XS.
Oh, come on, Big D. Put that
And
hat
the Miller
on.
goes, Delgado,
Give
move
us
right
a little
little.
ditty, Big D. On the road again. I just can't wait till Harry takes me on the road again.
I text Harry. I was like, Harry, you called just as we went live. Everything okay? No response.
Oh, Harry.
No response.
Harry is.
He's been killed by Antifa.
Jesus.
Oh, God forbid.
No response.
Where is Harry? Is he on the road or where the hell is he?
He's in, what do you mean? He's at the,
Well, you never know where. Oh, he's at
Damon,
the,
don't sing, please.
He's at the DNC. I got you.
Hey, he's at the DNC.
Right.
Broke Spoke says Damon won't feed the staff. They have to eat from gas stations. That's true.
Well, that's the kind of budget we're on here. What do you want?
That's it.
Come on. We're scrappy.
If you could buy a MyPillow and use our code, I could change that.
Well,
We can eat.
Super chat is $200.
eat.
5 minutes.
All right, live from Studio 6B, 30 minutes past the hour on a Wednesday night. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Slick's doing sports. We'll do some more before the end of the hour. Delgado's here. Got here just a smidge late. How are you?
I'm all right.
Well, why just all right?
Well, I just got confirmation from my sister. They found my mom. She's fine. We couldn't find her.
Are you serious?
So, yeah.
Oh my God.
So they had me go to her place. It's like she's not answering the phone. I'm like, oh, great. I don't want to walk onto this lady and she's naked, stuck in the shower, because then I have to pick her up. No, she was actually out with one of my other sisters, and nobody told anybody. And my other sisters were freaking out. So there you have it. Mystery solved.
Phew. Oh, God, you scared me there for a second.
She'd have gotten away with it, too.
So she doesn't, like, wander. Like, she's never...
No, she's not a wanderer.
No, she's not like Biden, right? She's fine.
No.
Okay, good.
That was my grandmother. We used to have to hide her shoes so she wouldn't leave the house.
Oh, okay.
That was a lot of fun.
I mean, do you mind me asking you, like, how old your mom is?
She's going to be 80. 80.
Okay, so,
80.
I mean, this is when, again, when you see the role the media played, Kamala Harris played, all of this administration played in hiding this guy in what is typical behavior when you get to 80 or older, that is what they need to be held responsible for. Kamala Harris is knee deep in now the Washington Post, as you see today. All of a sudden, now they're free to start reporting on, well, this kind of stuff was happening for a while, and we kind of saw this, and the staff saw it, but they really needed to try to tamp it down and keep it close. And Kamala Harris at first was this, and now this is the Washington Post reporting it. Now they're free to report it, but for 3.5 years, we got to hear Joe Scarborough lecture us on how this is the best version of Biden. All these places, and then didn't see it, didn't want to talk about it, didn't see anything. Oh, he's fine, he looks great, he's the best version of himself. Now that they've stabbed him in the back, now all of a sudden the reporting is free flowing. Oh, people saw that. Oh, yeah. And they just think that, they think that you're just going to say, well, okay, whatever it is. These people are vile human beings, all of them, including Biden. But I mean, he's obviously on the receiving end here of this one.
Yeah, but he still deserves it.
Yeah, he does.
Pretty much. I mean,
but all of these people around him that now want to take the torch and keep continuing to destroy the country should be held responsible. So, all right, let's do some news with the host of the Kevin Downey Jr. Show, 10 to 11 weekday mornings, 103.9 FM, WLI News right here in the New York market on Long Island. Kevin Downey Jr., how are you?
I'm good, sir. Big D, I got something you guys are going to hate.
UFO stories? I mean,
oh, no, this is better. This is Queer Theory looks to de-nuke our military. Big D, and I kid you not, this is Fox News. A recent hire at the Nuclear Security Wing of the Department of Energy has previously called for disarmament policies, which reduce or eliminate nuclear weapons, arguing that the advancing queer theory was essential to that agenda, as well as important to America's national security. I didn't know what that meant, but I have more. This woman, she's all about DEI. Her name is Snea Nair. That's S-N-E-H-A, Snea Nair. I'm going to assume that's a woman. I will, in fact, assume gender. She believes that the way you eradicate white supremacy in the nuclear field, as well as queering up the nuclear weapons, is to do away with them. And she says, finally, queer theory informs the struggle for nuclear justice and disarmament, she wrote last year. Queer theory helps to shift the perception of nuclear weapons as instruments for security by telling the hidden stories of displacement, illness, and trauma caused by their production and testing. Excuse me. So what I gather from this, guys, is this is the Marxists trying to take away our nukes. That's what this is, in the name of queer theory, which doesn't make any sense. And I think anyone paying attention can see that. But she is... I'm going to say a DEI hire. It says right here she's all for this part of diversity, equity, and inclusion. But this is an attempt to disarm us, because, as you know, we have a one world government coming, and as soon as we take away our nukes, I think that's one of the 45 goals of communism, is to do away with American nuclear weapons, and that is exactly what this woman is trying to do in the name of queer theory. I'm not sure how getting rid of nukes makes gay people happy, but that is what she's pushing here. Does this make any sense to any of you?
Of course it does.
It sure does, because haven't they been doing it for like 3 years already?
Yeah.
I mean, the military is, at least at the top in some of these places. I mean, you see the picture of our some of these leaders. I mean, this feels like this started already.
Yeah. What this says to me is, first of all, we had to chase the warriors out of the military with a shot. You don't want the shot. You don't get to be in the military. But if you want to study gender theory instead of how to throw a grenade, then we're all for it. And that's how they got all of the transmobobs in there. So what's going to happen is we're not going to have any nukes, so we can't fight China. But when called to do so, our military will absolutely, positively shoot down MAGA Americans or American citizens who just happen to love the Constitution and think that they're entitled to free speech. That is what they're doing here. They are building a military, and it's going to be an anti-American one, and one that will not have a nuclear response to China and Russia. That is how I read this.
Yeah, well, you know what? It makes sense for the gayification. Is that what they're doing? Gayification?
Gayification.
Okay, because look at what the gamma rays did to Dr. Bruce Banner. It screwed him up.
Yeah.
Messed him up. So, you can't have that happening. So they got to protect everybody. It's all under the guise of protection, right? You have to give up a little bit of your freedoms, but don't worry, we'll protect you, and it'll make it all better.
And you notice...
Did you just have an Incredible Hulk reference?
Yes, I did. Thanks for catching it.
Okay.
Do you notice white supremacy is, again, the culprit here? Now, if you look at England, right now they're saying, in the name of ending white supremacy, you're going to jail for that meme. I see it clear as day. See it clear as day, folks. They've been building towards this. There's no actual... I happen to know there are just as many Klan members as caged tigers in the United States. So the next time you see a tiger, you can assume you've seen one of those Klan clowns, too. There's no... I'm not going to say there are no white supremacy knuckles. Yes, there are a couple. It's no armed... It's not an organized thing. And I will argue that you might see some other groups and their supremacy... let's just say someone ran over 78 white people in Wisconsin at a Christmas parade a couple of years ago.
Remember that?
That is the problem, but we can't talk about that because the problem, you're watching the problem on TV, folks, right now. 4 straight white males, and there will come a time when we are splitting moldy cabbage into gulag, I promise you, boys.
All right, very good, Kevin Downey Jr. Anything else you want to cover right now?
Sure, I got tons of stuff. Check this out. Now, people are scared about the polls. There are only a few people you can trust, folks. Emerson, do we like Emerson? I like McLaughlin Group.
Emerson has been very good. A lot of people are questioning the most recent things, and it kind of took me by surprise, too, because I do feel like Emerson has been very good in the past.
Yeah.
But it's funny you bring this up because I have a lot of stuff tonight on some of the polling. Justin News has a good piece out today.
Yes.
And Newsweek has a good piece out today on the polling. So go ahead, though.
All right, so Rasmussen is good. John McLaughlin Group, they're not always public. The real polls cost a lot of money. And so this comes from McLaughlin Group, from Just the News. Could be the same one. Prior to becoming the Democratic nominee, Harris suffered from decidedly poor approval ratings. And Trump initially held the lead over her in a head-to-head matchup. That average quickly flipped. However, in the wake of several surveys showing Harris ahead, but now things are flipping back. They're flipping back. And what they're finding out, though, these polls that said, Kamala's winning, they changed the dynamics of their polls. They went from maybe at best 38% Republican. Now they're down way less. They're changing the dynamics of their polls and the type of people they poll to give her those numbers. That's coming from McLaughlin. McLaughlin Group, I trust a great deal. And Rasmussen says Trump is killing her. And today, the betting odds, really the only ones that called Trump losing to Biden, they're now swinging for Trump again. And the DNC thing isn't even over yet.
Yeah, if you're going to trust anybody, trust the bookmakers.
Yeah.
Because that's the clearest, real look at where, because that's real money going down.
100%.
So that, I know people think that's a joke. It's not a joke. They're the most. That's the most accurate poll. Is where the bookmakers are booking the action on who's going to win the presidential election to give you some sense of where the American people are. Now, Elon Musk did a thing today, and I only bring it up because when you have, what does he have? I don't know, a couple 100 million followers. And he says, since people have been asking me, he said, here's an unscientific poll. Who are you going to vote for? Trump, Harris, he put the two. At the time I checked it, there was, I think, 5 million votes. Trump was up 74 to 24. Now you can say, well, more Republicans follow him. So maybe there's some part of that. I think when you have 100, 200 million followers, I think you have probably pretty good split between all ideological avenues, I would think. What do you think about it? Don't you think?
Yeah, I would say so. And again, with some of the stuff that's on X, I notice people that I would never follow, liberals and these Democratic influencers and what have you, they end up on my feed somehow, and I don't know how.
Yeah.
Because then I'll check and I'm like, well, I never hit follow on this one, but this person popped up.
Through other things you follow to follow them. It tries to give you things it thinks you'll like.
Exactly. So I'm sure when he put that out there, that's the same thing that happened. It migrated itself to other people that may not follow Elon Musk, but it still pops up in their feed, and they're like, that's simple enough. It's a yes or no question. And that's the beauty of that type of poll. It's a yes or no question. The
right,
question
click one
is,
of the names.
You're right. That's it. Very simple. Yes or no. Who are you voting for? That's it.
And we never know. Like a lot of these people, they get polled. They don't want to say. You'll never know who clicked it, and so in some ways it's probably more accurate.
Yeah.
And I don't know if someone wants to check it on his feed. Last time I checked it, it was close to 5 million votes, and I believe Trump was up something like 74 to 26, 25, whatever it was. I haven't checked it in a few hours, but what Kevin is referencing in Just the News today is entitled "Polling Showing Harrison Lead is Flagged by Industry Experts for Voter Samples." And the quote in there is, so what they're doing is they're polling fewer Republicans. They're polling a disproportionate number of Biden 2020 voters in these states that were dead even, McLaughlin said. They're trying to suppress your vote. They're saying the Biden 2020 voters should be 4 or 5 points higher. It's ridiculous. So what they're doing is they're trying to pump Harris up. They're trying to suppress the vote. And that is, they're smart people doing this. So I think it's absolutely intentional. And the Harris honeymoon, even though they're in the middle of the DNC, if you look, seems to be somewhat returning to earth.
Yeah.
And now, I don't know if this news is true, but as the DNC ends on Thursday night with whatever they're going to put on the teleprompter for her to read, I'm sure it'll be all hope and joy and we love America and red, white, and blue and let's go, team, win, win, win. But on Friday, President Trump's going to be in Arizona. And you know who else is going to be in Arizona? Robert Kennedy Jr.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And supposedly the word is that he has decided the Democratic Party is not the Democratic Party of my family and is not a party I can associate with. And I think he's going to drop. The word is that he's going to drop out of the race and possibly endorse Trump with the idea of taking some part in a cabinet position in the Trump administration.
Yeah.
And you talk about thwarting anything coming out of this 4 days and the Harris honeymoon would be over, I think that would be a good push for it to be over if that happens. And I expect the Harris campaign to make a push towards him before Friday.
Real quick, 73-27, Trump over Kamala with almost 6 million votes.
Okay,
Final
there you
results.
go. There you go. All right, we're back right after this. News with Delgado coming up. By the way, I'm not sure that I'm in love with the idea of RFK in the. I mean, I don't know what he's thinking about.
You know what? I think they should give him Fauci's gig because he's anti-COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
And I think he would give that joint an enema.
Yeah,
I think that would be a good pick.
To put it to CDC or put it to whatever.
CDC, yep.
Well, but Fauci's actually technically what? The director
NIH?
He's the
Or
NIH,
he was.
right?
And the infectious disease, what's that one?
National Institute.
But I don't think. But Kennedy has no background. He's not a biologist, not a doctor, not.
Most of the people that end up in these
Now,
positions
what about
don't really know what they're
I was just
doing.
thinking that.
What do you think of him as Attorney General? I don't. I mean, I have way better choices, but I mean, I heard that was floated too. I don't know if that's been floated to him. People are floating it.
Right.
CIA director.
CIA director or Yeah.
I would bring Flynn in to just flush out the intel community, which he was doing, and they tried to put him in prison.
Stevie Wonder go yet?
I don't know. Should we put that up just to see what's going on?
Is he supposed to speak or is he singing?
He's singing. He's leading the
All right,
party.
so who do we think this is? Let's see where we are.
Yeah, I think it's Andy Kim.
Andy Kim?
Andy Kim, okay, from New Jersey. All right, so they're up to there. So then after them, they've got... Okay, so
that what this
Stevie's
guy's
coming
doing?
up.
Last I saw him, he was in the Hangover.
Wasn't he a pop star, Andy?
No, that's not the same.
was the
That's not the
70s.
guy from... That's not the guy.
That's not the guy from the Hangover?
No, it's not the guy from The Hangover.
Yeah, he looks like him.
No, there's no tiger coming on stage. No.
Yeah, Life of Pi. I just had a pie.
Cherry one.
So after Andy here, we got influencer remarks from Olivia Giuliana. She's a content creator. That ought to be great.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Should we listen to that?
Incontinent
That's got to be comedic relief to see what these influencers are saying.
Yeah, they're creating content.
Maybe we should listen to Olivia Giuliana and see what she's talking about.
Did you guys talk about Barack Obama from last night?
A little bit.
No, not
I
much.
didn't
Not much,
see
folks.
any of it.
Not much.
But what they put him on near midnight as well, right?
Yeah.
He was late, yeah.
It's like, what the hell are they
I
doing?
came out, Michelle.
I don't get it. I don't get the timing of it if
No.
you're them. I don't get it at all.
Julie Kelly had a great point. He said 5 weeks ago, someone tried to put a bullet in Trump's head, and all Obama did, instead of saying, hey, let's not have any political violence, came out and just attacked him, pound.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, they've got a stranglehold on decency. It's live from Studio 6B, 13 till the hour. Joanna on Facebook says, oh, I just lost it.
Oh, good Lord.
Sorry, Joanna.
Sorry.
Something about RFK being not sure that, you can trust him, basically, was the essentially thing. And I agree with that. I don't know. I mean, you do these deals to get the endorsement and hopefully get the voters, so I get it. But I don't, not sure how I feel about him going into a cap. And what position would it be? Donald Trump Jr. today, I heard on somebody, Glenn Beck or somebody's, saying that he'd be all for it too. But then I hear President Trump saying how much he likes Barack Obama today. Like I said, I don't know what the strategy is in that. The guy who, basically led the whole charge to get you and get everybody around you from the Oval Office when him and Biden were still in office, targeting Flynn, targeting you. And he comes out and says, oh, I have a lot of respect for him. I like him, and I like his wife today. To some reporter.
Do you think that was because they took a total dump on him last night and he's playing nice guy to make them look bad?
I have no idea, honestly. I have no idea where some of these comments come from. If there's strategy behind it, I certainly don't. I can't find out what it is, but whatever. It is what it is, but I didn't get it.
I see it as he takes that headline away. Trump comes back and slams, Obama's because of race. He got rid of the race card right there from the Obamas for now. He'll go after them later when it's...
Yeah, but that's not how... But it doesn't get portrayed like that. It doesn't help him. That's not actually what happens. It's not like the media goes, that's not like CNN panels going, we can't... we got to change this. We got to change this segment. We can't have 9 people on the platform here killing him because did you hear what Trump said? He likes Obama, so we got to kill this whole segment. They'd still go do the segment.
Yeah, but
they still call him anti-Semitic. Even though we just pointed out his daughter, his grandkids, his son-in-laws are all... They don't care.
Yeah, but it takes the teeth out of it. It messes it disrupt. He's a disruptor. When he was interviewed by that, I think it was a photographer, and he said, "I am the storm," because he is disrupting everything that they want to do. And I see it more and more. You just gotta sit back. And we're the converted. We're already on team Trump. So that's one way you look at it, but when you sit back and be like, now why would he do this and why would he say that and why? You almost want to sit there and who's that?
Stevie.
That's Stevie.
Is that Stevie Wonder or is that Denzel?
Every song
That's
that
Stevie.
I've sang,
Stevie looks
every
young.
song that I've written
That's
is
Stevie
because of my love for Hugh.
Isn't he like
here.
80 at this point?
Listen.
Yeah, he's late.
This year,
This guy is one of the
This year
greatest
I prayed
musicians
very
ever,
hard
and
for
written some of them,
peace
recorded some of the
to come to
greatest
our
albums
world's
No question.
ever.
Oh yeah.
But also,
Yeah, Songs in the Key of
each
Life.
one of our
Oh my God, Songs in the Key of Life is.
even though our hearts
it's
have been
almost as good
beaten
as Sting.
and broken,
He's one of the greatest.
beyond prayer,
He used to play at my mom's junior high
I know
dance.
the important
Wow.
Who, Sting?
action,
Was it? No.
and now is the time to
I thought he was
understand
performing.
That's
where
what
we
I
are
heard. He might.
and what it will
Not
take
here.
to
I mean, he's
win.
got to be. He's not
No, he
singing.
could do it with a harmonica
Win
right
the
here,
broken
knowing him.
hearts. Win the disenchanted. Win the angry spirits. Now is the time.
Oh boy. All right, Stevie. Don't get too deep on us here. Just play the music. Sing and do your harmonica thing.
Right.
Don't get too deep on us.
This is the moment to remember when you tell your children where you were and what you did.
When the country
As we-
went south, yeah.
As we stand between history's pain and tomorrow's promises, we must choose courage over complacency.
Well, again,
Complacency. That's what you had for 4 years.
there's no courage in
It
doing
is
what they did to
time
Biden.
to get up and go vote.
Good with that.
Stevie,
Listen, the choice is clear.
hands on the keys,
Clear.
mouth on the microphone.
Anyone else
Let's go.
say. Did you hear me? Clear.
We're not
Than
interested in hearing
anyone
your
else.
pontifications
He's good.
about stuff that you have known nothing about.
Yeah. He's the bear on the bicycle. Come on,
Joy
bear. Ride the bicycle.
over anger,
He's got
Entertain the circus crowd.
kindness over recrimination.
He's got a song for Kamala. Isn't she homely?
No.
Oh,
No. I don't think that's
That's a little rough,
No,
huh?
I don't think
We
that's.
choose
No.
to be above the words.
Isn't she? No. I don't think that's the one he's going to do.
Those words and anger create.
I got
We
a
must
countdown clock
keep
in my head here,
Yeah,
Stevie.
come on,
I
Stevie.
gave it.
Until we truly
I really thought we were going to.
a united people of these United States.
Oh, okay.
Why does he sound like Mike Tyson?
And then we will reach our higher ground.
Look, there's a song title in there.
There he goes.
He threw a song title.
Are y'all ready
Yeah.
to reach a higher ground?
Is that a Prince song?
No.
No, I've
Are
never
you
heard of
ready
it.
to
Sly and
reach
the Family
our
Stone.
higher ground? Tell me.
Take you.
I want to hear you again. Are you ready?
I think he's going to do it right there.
Are we
He's going
ready?
to pull the
Because you know
harmonica
He has a
out.
higher
Just-
ground song. He does have a song.
I hope he drops it and can't find it.
Come on.
We need a great man as we do have as a future
I'm like
vice
torn because I love
president.
Stevie, man.
Yeah, me too.
You know
But
that.
this is
You know
brutal.
what?
Come on, man.
I'm depending on you to do, as Spike Lee would say, the right thing.
And by the way, I mean, I don't know if that podium is hiding it, but last time I
Are
saw
y'all ready?
Stevie, he looked like he got stung by a colony of bees.
Are you ready?
Really?
But he looks pretty good here. I don't know. Maybe they got him on the old.
He's going to sing now.
Right, everybody.
Oh.
Clap your hands like this. Everybody clap your hands.
Okay.
Clap, clap, clap.
Stevie's going to sing right from there? Or
Somebody scream.
Oh, great.
are they going to walk him over to the keyboard here? Oh,
Yeah, Till I Reach for Higher Ground. This is a Stevie Wonder song.
this is his song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are y'all ready?
I mean, come on. When it comes to this, I mean,
He's good.
I want y'all to sing it with me. Come on. People.
Sounds good.
still sounds good
Does
too.
sound good. Gotta give him that.
I mean, he's always sounded good, and these are not the easiest songs to sing.
Hell no.
Y'all said keep on one.
At his age? Not easy
Yeah,
to
nobody
sing.
knows the words. What a great crowd.
No, they do know the words, Delgado.
They don't
Stop
know
being
the
a hater.
Keep on turning.
Don't be a hater.
He did what every performer does, like sing along, and nobody's singing along.
Right, see, Woodrow said this is still a great song. They're all great songs. He's not flat.
No, he's not.
Wasted aliens. He's flat. Come on.
Keep on.
And what's with the KKK
He's
running
right
around
on the money.
background?
Listen to
Get
these
them off the
changes and
stage.
these chord changes. Come on. Okay.
What the hell are they doing?
What, we got Circus de Soleil going on behind? What is this?
Harry's sister thought he was a BLM. Better walk the other way.
Well, Stevie can't see what's going on behind him. I wonder if they do that.
Diana
Say, you know what?
That's
Let's
a
do
good
that. He'll
thing,
never
Diana
know.
Ross.
Right?
This
He'll
song's a
never
great
know.
song. It's a great song.
Yeah, it's not like he's gonna go home and watch the video.
Come on, stop.
What?
It's not funny.
I mean, he could put it
Make
on.
fun of him.
You could hold a sign that says Ray Charles was better. You never know.
Did you see him play live, Big D? Have you ever seen Stevie?
Damon going all music teacher on us. Quiet. Come on, Stevie, sing a song.
Bring it home.
Where's Delbert?
Where's the Prince?
Dude, they're not. You know what?
Those people aren't even.
Those people are not even into this.
They've got
What is
no
going
rhythm.
on?
A little bit. I mean, a little
We
bit.
got some,
On
but
the one.
We got the white people clap on
That
1
was
and
it.
3.
All right.
I see it.
No Prince song.
Always
thankfully.
clapping on 1 and 3. Good
look at
Lord.
this kid's like, I don't know who
man.
that is.
I
A woman
wonder.
clapping on the 1 and 3 sang the national anthem last
Yeah.
night.
Oh, man.
What?
No, yeah. I think they were, I don't know what key they were in, man.
There was.
All right, well,
weren't in the
there's
key
the-
of life. That's for sure.
They were definitely not songs in the key of life.
No way. They need to be tuned up, Big D. Come on. We get Trumpet to tune him up.
Definitely not. They were, what was the key? Key non-binary.
Non-binary.
The shit. She was just saying that. Oh, man.
Oh, God. that
Come
was
on,
classic.
Stevie. I don't care what anybody says, man. We got to get up. We got to listen to Stevie once he starts playing. And before that, we don't want to listen to Stevie.
Yeah, please.
But yeah, keep your politics at home,
man,
Stevie.
Oh, man.
You know, musicians just stay out of politics. Unfortunately, a lot of them don't.
Just sing the
Stay, just play. Come on.
Just sing the song.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sing
yeah.
the hits and get off the stage.
Yeah.
Well, they could. Some people could say that is.
Oh, God.
Has anyone actually voted on something a celebrity has said?
Exactly.
How's Axl Rose voting? That's what I'm going to
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? If Sebastian Bach says you vote for this guy,
Yeah.
I'm going that route.
Yeah, Sebastian Bach.
Every rocker has his liberal side. Vote for.
Sean, Damon, please quit rubbing Stevie Wonder's nuts. He's not the
Wow.
great.
No,
what,
we
what
just-
was that? He's not. No, you're wrong. He's recorded some of the greatest albums ever.
Absolutely.
What are you talking about? You're wrong.
Absolutely.
Stevie Wonder, Sting, some of the great rock albums ever.
Yeah.
Rush. Come on.
Squall Leonhardt. Stevie Wonder is blind and he made his way off the stage. What is Biden's excuse? That's get a chat. That was a good one, Squall. Which they're probably not even. They don't even hear us. The Getter people in the chat in the break. But that was
That's a good one.
That was a good one. We got them good. No, you can't. I don't care what anybody says in any chat. You know, Stevie Wonder is one of the top ones. He's one of the top greats. You know, just because I don't like their politics, I'm not gonna send them up the river for his songs.
Try on Excess, Sting sucks. Come on.
I didn't want to say anything either, but Sting.
Every breath you take is
No
probably
way.
one of
Are
the,
you
one of the
kidding me?
great songs.
Blows.
It's one of the greatest rock songs ever written.
Which one?
Every Breath You Take by the Police. Oh, it was
It's about a stalker.
I know it is. Yeah.
I love that.
I know. They wrote that about Delgado when he was in fifth grade.
Fragile.
Fragile.
Englishman in New York. I mean, those are some. I mean, are you kidding me?
Boring.
No way,
What is
dude.
it?
Boring.
Summoner's Tales.
No
or whatever.
way.
Dude, those are some of the most boring songs ever
No
written.
way. Not from a musician standpoint,
Oh.
man.
Yeah, well, most people
Fields
aren't
of Gold.
musicians.
You listen to that guy and those bass lines he plays while singing
Oh.
those melodies.
Great
Yeah,
bass
okay,
player.
go ahead, try it.
How
Tell
about
me
Wrapped
how it
Around
is.
Your
All right.
Finger?
No
All right.
way.
grab your xylophone.
Renee is correct on Facebook. He's a musical genius. Correct.
Oh, Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder.
Isn't that what? Didn't Eddie Murphy
Sting,
say that?
yeah.
He's a musical genius. He said that in like Delirious or
Yeah.
Raw. Delirious, right? Steve.
All right, hour two, live from Studio 6B, 9 p.m. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in on a Wednesday. Slick's doing sports. Actually, we didn't do sports because we were ranking on Stevie there.
That's right.
Delgado's going to... Did you do news?
No.
Okay,
he's gotta
Delgado's
go
going to
too.
do news right
Come
now.
on. We have a wonderful
Kevin Downey
show.
Jr. is here to do news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down. We were watching Stevie Wonder at the DNC.
Yeah.
Now, we missed, I think, which had to be just putrid, Kenan Thompson and guests on Project 2025. I think that was like an SNL skit, even though Trump, of course, has come out and distanced himself, doesn't want anything to do with Project 2025, or seemingly the people at Heritage who helped put it together, which, once again, I don't get, but that had to be horrid. I think we missed that. Now we're into the 9 o'clock hour. Is that taped or that's live on stage? Really? I don't even want to see it. Who cares?
Who is it?
Well, have you watched it? Is it any good? It's
When do
got to
I
be
have time to
terrible,
watch
right? Well, no, I know, but I mean, it's got to be terrible. Like,
That's
all
terrible.
right, give me 30 seconds of it. Let's just.
What is it?
Of people like yourself to pay more for prescription
Oh, this
drugs
guy.
like insulin.
Okay, yeah, that's enough.
Yeah, this is hilarious.
Exactly. Terrible. Just what I thought.
He's
All
terrible.
right, let's do the news. And here with the news, brought to you by our friends at 7 Cells. 7cells.com is Rick Delgado. What's going on, Delgado?
Well, first off, out of the Rumble chat, DJ Yi Fun Kayev. I don't know
him.
what I'm saying. Yeah. Says,
Household name.
says, I could be mistaken, but
DJ to DJ he's speaking to.
he says, is it,
Yeah,
he
Mr.
says,
Friction
is it
over
just
here.
me, or did Stevie Wonder not actually endorse Kamala?
Wow.
I don't think he
I
did. He
don't
ever
know.
say her name?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No,
No.
he didn't.
He couldn't read the teleprompter.
No, exactly.
Hey.
You can't read the teleprompter. You can't say anything nice about her.
I'm where?
Damon wants to laugh at that one, Kevin.
No, I think you're right. I don't think he did.
No,
Right.
about him
I think he-
not reading the teleprompter.
Well, yeah, he can't read. No.
Just saying. All right. Anyhow, getting to news. Something you mentioned a little
Biden
bit
can't read
earlier.
it either. What's his excuse?
That's true. Robert F. Kennedy intends to end his independent presidential campaign and, as they say, possibly endorse former President Trump. According to two sources familiar with the plans, this is coming from NBC News. Sources caution that talks are ongoing, but said there will be clarity by the end of the week. One of the sources says the campaigns are working towards a joint appearance, believe it or not. And again, you mentioned that they're both going to be in, where is it? They're going to be in
Arizona, Phoenix, I believe,
on
yep.
Friday doing, I guess, campaign stuff. Considering that RFK is looking to drop out or just end his campaign, it's interesting that he still has this on his schedule. The decision to drop out will end one of the most prominent third-party candidacies in the race. Kennedy announced Wednesday that he will give a campaign speech addressing his path forward, days after his running mate said the campaign faced a choice about staying in the election and dropping out to back Trump. Now, we do have his vice president nominee pick.
Yeah.
Her name, I forget her name. We had her last night, one of the clips. Do we still have that, Aaron?
Nicole Shanahan,
Yeah.
I believe.
Nicole
yes. Thank you.
Shanahan. We have her. Let's run her clip.
She's like
Here.
a billionaire, by the way.
Yeah.
Like worth a couple $100 million. She's the money behind this deal.
And here she is. This is cut 6A, talking about considering dropping out and endorsing Trump.
You know, there's two options that we're looking at, and one is staying in, forming that new party, but we run the risk of a Kamala Harris and Waltz presidency because we draw votes from Trump, or we draw somehow more votes from Trump, or we walk away right now and join forces with Donald Trump, and you know, we walk away from that and we explain to our base why we're making this decision. Not easy.
Clearly.
Yeah, not an easy decision.
Dynamic interview, as you can tell.
I know that.
Oh, yeah,
I know
electric.
That, I know that podcast. He gets actually humongous numbers. He does a lot of finance guys, a lot of crypto guys. I've seen him interview. I've seen that podcast a lot, or whatever he calls it. It actually gets huge numbers.
Right.
That's an interesting clip. I mean, like I said, she's worth about $200 million. I mean,
and she's a lefty out of San Francisco, which is odd.
recognizing that they're going to draw from Trump is interesting. We've debated that, who he pulls more from. They obviously think they pull more from him. Most of the people who have studied this also believe that. So it's interesting to hear her say that they concur that that's probably what will end up happening. They run the risk of helping get a Harris administration.
I've always thought,
I'm sorry. I don't know if this is a done deal, but I think this is the way he's leaning.
Yeah. I've always thought that Kennedy took more votes from Trump than Kamala. And I know some other people on the radio say, oh, no, this is going to hurt the Democrats, No. People love his stance on the COVID vaccine. I know MAGA people who are very interested in him. And if you can just peel away a few. I mean, what did Trump lose Michigan by? 10 grand or something? Was it 10,000 people maybe?
It wasn't much.
Yeah. And I don't think he lost, but...
right.
Yeah.
I think you were, Delgado, kind of in the camp that he pulled more from Biden just because he's always been a Democrat.
Because he's a lifelong Democrat, the Kennedy brand. People hear the name and remember, most people don't know of all the shenanigans that went on between the Democrats and the Kennedy, RFK Jr. behind the scenes. They just see it as, oh, well, Biden was already in, so he wanted to be president. So they're looking, they don't see the minutia that I think we get to see.
But they got to have internal polls that we don't know about. Do you think she's wrong?
Yeah, I think she's wrong.
Really?
Yeah, totally.
See, I don't.
Because most of his other policies are in line with the Democrats, except for the intelligence community, which, you know what, that one could go either way. And we've got a clip talking about that as well. But also his view of the economy and some of the things he stands for. I mean, if you were to hear him talk about, some of his economic policies that he would endorse, they're right there with Biden and Harris, right over there. More government, more taxes, all that kind of stuff, more spending. So it's not a if you're a single issue voter saying it's got to be the intelligence community or it's got to be COVID or vaccines, then fine, he's your guy, and you'll follow him wherever he goes. But other than that, I just don't see anything else that he brings to the table in terms of people that are conservatives. But that's just me. Who knows?
Trump's got to widen the base out to more than just conservatives, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, and he's been doing that. And remember that phone call that was leaked by RFK Jr.'s son almost a month ago, right? Mm-hmm. Where they were talking on the phone in a hotel one night, and I guess his son thought it was kind of cool that they were doing it, so he leaked the video of them talking about vaccines and stuff like that. So I think this could have been in the works for some time. But that's just me. The decision to drop out is going to end, like I said, his campaign. He announced he's going to hold an event in Phoenix on Friday. Trump, meanwhile, is also set to host an event on Friday night in Glendale. Glendale and Phoenix, they're right next to each other. So you don't have to worry about making the trip for that one. It's not like they're going across the state. Now, what's interesting is that, you mentioned the possible cabinet positions, CDC or NIH, or maybe something in the intelligence community, maybe run the CIA or the FBI or part of the DOJ in some capacity. As a matter of fact, we've got a clip from one of the DNC's highlights from night number 1, which we didn't get a chance to play yesterday. I don't even know this lady's name. I just call her Bizarro redheaded lips-licking lady as she talks about how if Donald Trump gets elected, he's going to weaponize the DOJ and go after his political opponents.
Oh, my God. God forbid.
Where have I heard this
original
before?
thought?
Yeah, where have I heard this before?
That's some play.
Cut 3A. Check this out.
Donald Trump would be able to weaponize the Department of Justice to go after his political opponents. He could even turn the FBI into his own personal police force.
Oh. I've seen that before.
That is not how it works in America.
Oh. Notice how they weren't saying anything like,
that's how it works in dictatorships.
Yeah.
Wow.
The redheaded lip licking lady, though, wasn't done because we have a compilation of all her lip
but
licking.
it's unbelievable, right? It's like the Obamas getting up there and talking about people being too, Michelle Obama last night. My mom always was worried about people who took more than we thought they needed as far as earning money. They're now worth a couple $100 million. They charge $1 million for speaking. They're, Oprah's going to be there tonight. Will Michelle tell that to Oprah? Of course not.
No.
And then it's like this. Comments like that. You just go, well, wait a minute. Am I the one living on another planet? Because that's exactly what has happened that the Democrats have done. So that's Obama buying beachfront property and telling me about global warming is exactly the opposite of what he says he stands for. Believes it's going to happen to to the Earth.
Right,
Always
the rising tides.
Is it just me or all of those people in the audience who go, that would be a bad idea? Hey, do you know what's going on now? Don't worry about it.
Hey.
Yeah, exactly. Here's a compilation of bizarro redheaded lip-licking lady, just because somebody put it together. Check this out. This was through her entire speech.
Oh, look at that. She looks like she's ready for a Tootsie Roll commercial.
You know what?
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll pop?
She is coked up. That's why she's licking her lips.
Wow.
Okay.
Let me hoover the bag. I'm going on in 2.
I mean, what I want to know is who had the time to put this together and slow it down. I just thought this was.
I don't know, but it's glorious.
It is.
I need
to invite her over. When I send out Christmas cards, she can lick the envelopes.
I needed 2. Where's Hunter?
I mean, she is. I don't know if I want to be dating her and then get out of line, man.
Wow.
She's kind of angry.
I had a turtle that did that before it ate crickets.
Yeah.
Maybe she's a praying mantis. She's going to rip your head off after she's done.
Man.
Anyhow. All right, we got some clips from Ben Bergquam. We don't have a chance to play right now. We'll play probably the next chance we get. What else is going on out there? Let's see. In terms of
I love Ben.
Yeah.
And I've said this for so long that he just makes me nervous because he just. he just loves this country as much as anyone can. He's such a patriot, but he just makes me so nervous that he's going to, and I saw this video.
Yeah, we had him on last night. He told us about it.
Man.
But we didn't have it at the time.
Ben, bless his heart though, man. He is unreal.
All right, let's play it then. This is cut 2. Ben trying to save the American flag. 2 different angles. Check this out. Now that's a combo flag that they were burning, and then somebody threw an American flag, and that's where Ben tried to jump in there and grab it.
Look at these clowns with their masks on.
Hey, Ben's a big guy too, man.
He is a big dude. Look at him. He's ready to put it. He puts his microphone in his pocket. He's like, come on, let's go.
Look at Ben standing up, baby.
Yeah. Of course, Ben has no help. No one else there thought that was a bad idea. They all support it. Or they have an idiot with a camera. They're just interested in clicking it. This is what and inside, by the way, this is the people they support on the outside.
Wearing masks. Cowards.
Free Palestine. And most of these people chatting that couldn't even find it on a map. It would never go there.
Right.
Nope. These are the chuckleheads who were yelling George Floyd 4 years ago.
Right. Exactly.
Well, these are the rent-a-rioters.
Yep.
Yes.
If you've ever heard of a color revolution,
move out of the country.
Look, this is what we think. Okay, next go
this
home
is
to
what's
mommy's
coming.
basement when he's done
Deport
with
this guy. Deport him.
And I promise you, they're all from spendy neighborhoods.
Yep.
Crazy. All right, more news with Delgado Sports. Kevin Downey Jr. all coming up live from Studio 6B. We may even dip into this, disaster in Chicago.
Yeah.
Bow, 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 bow.
Good luck.
Yeah, give me the food stamps. They're in the top drawer next to the butter. Oh, there's no butter, but there's food stamps.
All right, if you're on social media, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up.
I'll take a communicable disease off the handle.
I saw That's just a vicious
Check the
love
ice
slap.
cubes.
I saw somebody on YouTube say that there was 500 or so people who had 900 people watching, only 343 likes. Thumbs up. Come on, people. It doesn't take that much.
Come on, people now.
It really helps if you hit the thumbs up right there below the picture. 344 thumbs up. You're watching, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Bum, 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 bum.
Ooh, tap water.
Damon, what music track was that before the break? I don't know, friend. We have a name on that one?
These old nameless artists.
The one I just played?
Yeah.
That was Encore in Polynesia by Arc du Soleil.
Oh.
Okay, there you go.
There's a regular everyday one. Spell that backwards.
Actually, they're very good. Slick.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We play them often.
Hakeem Tua. Someone wrote, didn't get her. Hakeem Tua. Who did that?
Oh, is he up? Is
Pyro
Jeffrey's
Fritz.
up?
Nice.
No,
We already missed
I
him.
can't watch him.
He's been on for a little bit.
Oh, he's
still
up
on.
now?
He is a radical dude. Oof.
Yep. Has he got his best Obama impression up?
Yeah.
Let's hear a little bit. That's how he's talking.
In the Old Testament,
Oh, yeah. He's got
book
it.
of Psalms, the scripture tells us that weeping may endure during the long night
Yeah, well, we've all been
But
crying
joy-
for 3.5 years, so
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
worry.
will come
Man,
in
you're
the morning.
right. He's doing a dead-on impression of Obama.
Yeah, he wants to be the next. He's the next. He's the next guy.
Here's how we do it.
He's the next guy. Hope and change,
Strategize
baby.
on Sunday. Meet the moment on Monday.
See?
Take it to him on Tuesday. Work it out on Wednesday.
Yep.
Thank the Lord on Thursday.
What'd he say?
Take us
Fight
to
the
church.
power
Is that work
on
it out on
Friday.
Wednesday? It was so
Yeah,
Set it
yeah,
off
whip 'em
on
out on
Saturday.
Wednesday. Whip 'em out on
Get a few
Wednesday,
hours
baby.
of sleep. Wake up the next day and do it all over again until joy,
Rinse and
Joy.
repeat. Come on.
joy
And pain.
comes in the morning.
Jesus.
Don't. Pump it up. Pump it up. Pump it up. Pump it up.
And rain.
Yeah.
Now there's
Oh,
only
my God.
Good gravy.
76 days left.
Oh, joy, joy.
He's like an Elvis impersonator, but for Obama.
Damon,
Yeah.
you never mentioned
You're
anybody
right.
on YouTube? What do you mean? All right, live from Studio 6B, 17 past the hour on a Wednesday night. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. If you're following us on social media or watching on any of our social media channels, make sure you hit the like, subscribe to the channel, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, X, Kick, Rumba, wherever you're watching. Facebook, we appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Thumbs up. We're doing news. We'll do some more. And we're getting ready for former President BJ, Bill Jefferson Clinton.
Ooh,
He'll be
I
taking the
see what you did
stage. We'll dip
my
into.
cigar.
So I heard someone say this will be his 12th convention that he'll be speaking at.
Wow.
And so there you go.
What is he gonna
Delgado? Well, go ahead.
I was thinking, what is he going to sound like at this point? Because at this point, like last time I heard him speak, he's like,
Yeah, he's looked pretty old, man. There's been some video of him out in the Hamptons, going to bookstores and
I'm out with Hillary.
cruising for chicks or whatever. And he's looked pretty old.
Yep.
He'll still talk. He'll still sound like the great orator that he was back when he was president, compared to Biden and obviously Obama. That's what they always
that's
point
not saying
to.
much.
Come on. But that's not saying much. But we'll see. We'll dip in and listen a little bit. By the way, if you look at the Clinton administration, as much as we disagree with a lot of it, that administration is nowhere. I mean, it's amazing he even gets to speak still in this party. He would be considered a centrist.
Yeah.
In the work he did with Newt Gingrich compared to this party. It's amazing he even has a spot to speak. He doesn't believe in 90% of where this party's at. At least he didn't. Remember the speeches that Clinton gave at the State of the Union on immigration? On open borders? He's not even welcome in this. He doesn't even reckon. He'll never say this, of course. But trust me, he doesn't even recognize this party in the platform and policies now. It's nowhere near how he governed. And again, disagree with. I mean, at the time he was still, he's still a leftist, but nowhere near what Kamala Harris stands for at all. So Let's do the news. Delgado, what else is going on?
All right. Well, you saw Ben Berquam there confronting those protesters trying to burn the American flag in Chicago. Ben was on the streets again. This time he came across a different type of Democrat, this one named Spike Lee. He reached out to Spike and tried to ask him a question about what's going on and how he feels about what the Democrats support here in Chicago. Here's cut number 5. Ben taking the microphone out of his pocket for this one and bringing it up to Spike Lee. Check this out.
Ask you a question. Why does the black community keep voting for Democrats when Democrats have abandoned the black community for 50 years? Sir? Why would the black community continue to vote for the Democrats when Democrats have abandoned the black community for 50 years?
I don't think he's going to get an answer.
Spike?
Nothing?
Spike?
Nothing?
Nothing?
That's the question. Why would the black community continue to vote for Democrats when they've been abandoned by Democrats for over 50 years? Well, really since the beginning.
Well, we talked about it the other night. All right, let's go live to the stage. The former president of the United States has taken the stage.
Oh, he don't look good.
We'll listen to a little bit of Bill Jefferson Clinton.
I did not have sexual relationships with that woman. I did not do it.
Thank you.
I did not.
I did not have sexual relations.
Where's my saxophone?
You may have seen him on Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy. Please welcome.
Let me ask you something.
Looks like crap.
Sting passed.
After the last 2 days,
Oh, boy.
aren't you proud to be a Democrat? And I am very grateful to the Republicans and independents that have joined us, have been up here on the stage. And I hope they feel better about it now. Because I've seen all these things that even I have to be reminded of from time to time when I get my spirits down. I love seeing the Obamas here. I love seeing President Biden. And I thought Hillary gave a great speech, too.
She's got a huge pillow with your face on it.
It's my pillow waiting for you when you get home.
I love seeing all these young leaders. A bunch of them are coming up after me.
Like
I swear I thought
They
it
look
was
better,
these
they
young
sound
ladies.
better,
Yeah.
and they'll be exciting.
It's exciting.
I do want to say one word about President Biden. Remember,
I hung out with him.
he had an improbable turn that made him president. And we were in the middle of a pandemic and an economic crash.
That's not true.
Totally.
He healed our sick and put the rest of us back to work.
Boy, he sounds terrible.
Yeah,
He sounds like he's taking his last breath. Every sentence sounds like his last breath.
this is
He
inspiring.
strengthens our alliances for peace and security. He stood up for Ukraine. He's trying desperately to get a ceasefire in the Middle East. And then he did something that's really hard for a politician to do. He voluntarily gave up political power. And
After he was pushed out.
George Washington knew that, and he did it. And he set the standard for us serving 2 terms before it was mandatory. It helped his legacy, and it will enhance Joe Biden's legacy. And it's a stark contrast to what goes on in the other party. So I want to thank him for his courage, compassion, his class, his service, his sacrifice.
They don't believe any of that. They just knew he was going to lose.
Yeah.
That's it. Bottom line.
Joe Biden.
Why don't you just say that?
Thank you. And he kept the faith, and he's infected a lot of the rest of us.
Back
Now let's cut to the chase. I am too old to gild the lily.
We can tell.
What?
2 days ago, I turned 78, the oldest man in my family of 4 generations.
Compare him to Trump, same age.
He sounds like he's 98.
And the only personal vanity I want to assert is I'm still younger than Donald Trump.
What do you say? I'm still younger?
Yeah. And dumber.
Last night, in what I thought was a very moving series of episodes, we nominated Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And just think about that.
We have.
2 leaders with all-American but still improbable life stories. It could only happen here. Their careers, after all, started in community courtrooms and classrooms. 2 leaders who spent a lifetime getting the good job done. Now, one of the things that I've noticed over my increasingly long life is that a presidential election is unique in several ways. First of all, it's the greatest job interview for the greatest job in the world. Secondly,
knows a little about that.
I'll give him this. This guy can still.
We, the people,
this guy can still
get to
talk
do the hiring.
make it look like he's just coming off the top of his head.
Yeah, but he's lost his
And the third thing is
there is no, and this is reminiscent
that every
of Chuck
4
Schumer.
years we get to change the
starting to look like Dick
requirements
Van
for the
Dyke.
job.
Someone in the chat said Kellyanne Conway
So
looks great.
here's what I'm thinking. As I try to apply this in every election, will this president take us backward or forward? Will this president give our kids a brighter future?
Somebody just yelled no.
Yeah, someone yelled no.
Will this president bring us together or tear us apart? Will the president increase the peace, security, and stability and freedom that we enjoy and extend it to others as we can? We, the people,
He's getting heckled.
He is getting heckled. You're right.
we have to make a decision
Somebody don't
about
like him.
these kind of questions. And every 4 years, it's a little different.
Bring back Stevie
because
Wonder.
The people come at the candidates.
He's awful.
Come at the candidates. And they say, as they're saying now,
I don't think so.
here
This is
are
what he
our
does.
problems.
He's not inspiring.
Yeah, but this is not what they want.
They're not buying into this.
Right now, Biden's watching going, why do I have to go on late?
Yeah.
Look
I
at
don't hear the
this.
chanting, cheering, or anything. Not yet.
Here
anyway.
are our fears. Ease them.
Someone
Here
take away
are
Grandpa's
our
car
dreams.
keys.
Exactly.
Help them.
What does this
true.
remind me of? Boring.
I don't know if I agree with you guys.
That's all right. You don't have
Yeah,
to.
wow, that's what makes the show.
Liberal.
You never agree with us.
A president can answer that call
I think it'll be effective for them.
Really?
by saying,
I don't hear the roar.
I'll
Yeah.
do my part, but you have to help me. We have to work together.
I think half the people
They're not
watching
even
weren't
clapping.
alive when he was president.
Yeah.
You
I don't know
can
who he is.
dodge what needs to be done by dividing, distracting, and diverting us.
No. Sounds like it's
So
court
in
case.
2024, we got a pretty clear choice, it seems to me. Kamala Harris for the people. And the other guy who's proved even more than the first go around that he's about me, myself, and I. I know which one I like better for our country. Kamala Harris
This is not.
will
doing
work to
much.
solve our problems,
listen to the
seize our
audience.
opportunities, ease our fears, and make sure every single American, however they vote, has a chance to chase their dreams. You know,
They thought he was almost done. They're like, is he done?
When she was young, she worked at McDonald's. And she greeted every person with that 1,000-watt smile and said, "How can I help you?" Now she's at the pinnacle of power, and she's still asking, "How can I help you?" I'll be so happy
Still his niece.
when she actually enters the White House as president, because she will break my record as the president who spent the most time at McDonald's.
That was a long, long journey for a punchline right there.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Now, but we got an election to win. And remember, we've got a guy that's pretty good at what he does. Donald Trump has been a paragon of consistency. He's still dividing, he's still blaming, he's still belittling other people. He creates chaos, and then he sort of curates it as if it were precious art. Let me say, not a single day goes by, even though I've been gone for well over 23 years from the White House.
Sure
not a day goes by that I don't thank the Lord for the chance I had to serve and what it meant.
There you go.
Is he done now?
There's the crowd.
One of the reasons.
There you go. They do might be onto something.
Thank you.
Standing up. He's resonating now.
Wait. One of the reasons.
It's really on.
He's like, wait.
Get somebody.
One of the reasons I love the job so much is that in the toughest times, even on the darkest days, if you tried hard enough, there was always something good you could do for somebody else. Now,
especially an intern.
Exactly.
Some days that's not easy to do. You've got to deal with all these emergencies, or there's something going on here, there, or yonder. But Kamala Harris is the only candidate in this race who has the vision, the experience, the temperament, the will.
He's got to check his notes.
And yes, the sheer joy.
They're saying that
to get something done.
There's their buzzword.
I mean, look, what does her opponent do with his voice? He mostly talks about himself, right? So the next time you hear him, don't count the lies. Count the eyes.
Apparently he
Count the eyes. His vendettas, his vengeance, his complaints, his conspiracies. He's like one of those tenors opening up before he walks out on stage, like I did, trying to get his lungs open by singing me, 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 me.
Okay, I was wrong. This sucks.
Exactly. This is terrible.
This is horrible.
When Kamala Harris is president,
What's amazing about this?
Called a camel.
Kamala, yeah, that's a racist bill.
That's Bill.
Is here? He is talking for a party that despises everything he stood for.
Yeah,
that's the amazing part here. Why it comes across, as you guys noticed a little earlier than I did,
we got to ask ourselves
so phony.
questions that we're going to
Remember, because this party stands for nothing that he stood for or governed like.
His gay in the military was don't ask, don't tell.
He was the less decent Democratic president in our lifetime.
Yeah,
and I say decent.
And now a transmobob runs the
in
Air
terms
Force.
of policy.
He was about moderation somewhat.
Right. The economy was decent.
For policy.
The economy was decent, not great, but
the
decent.
work he did with Newt.
Since the end of the Cold War,
I mean, again, he can't recognize this party, but he'll never say that. He was not considered a hard left radical Marxist.
Nope.
He was considered a liberal Democrat.
I swear I checked this 3 times. Even I couldn't believe it. What's the score? Democrats 50, Republicans 1.
What board is he looking at?
Maybe the amount of girls he cheated on his wife with?
What did he say? 51? What?
50 to 1. The score is the Democrats 50, the Republicans 1.
Was it talking about how many people went to Epstein's Island? I missed that.
Yeah, that might be that might be the count there, Kevin.
Championship winning coach on our team. But even the most limited of us in what we know about football or any other sport knows that if you're got 50 and the other side's got 1, you're ahead.
All right, that's a good lead-in to do some sports. This sucks.
Listen,
I mean, I can't.
this
Guy sucks.
Biden.
I mean, this is please. I can't take it anymore. I think we've heard
that was
enough.
awful. That was absolutely.
We've heard
awful.
enough of Bill Clinton. If we'll go back, if anyone else talks, I mean, I've just enough.
It was horrendous.
I mean, enough.
Horrendous.
Just sucks. BJ Bill Jefferson, no good. Let's do sports. Here with that is Rick Ammirati. What's going on, Slick?
All right, Big D. Well, let me get to the rodeo. Why not?
God, it was
Come
terrible.
on, let's get out. We just saw some horse hockey. Now here's some horse heaven roundup, Big D. Here we go. Kennewick, Washington. Let's go way out west to the Lithia Ram Arena.
Come out with the sunglasses and play the saxophone or something.
I know that, right? Man, good Lord.
That just absolutely blew.
And he's still blowing. Look, he's still doing it.
He's still going, huh? Man, all right. Here we go. Horse Heaven Roundup Rodeo. We got the bareback riding. We got going first round here. Straubs Jones, 85.5 points on Calgary Stampede Rodeos. Cincy Whitney. Steer Wrestling, second round. Kyle Irwin, 3.5 seconds there. Team Roping, second round. Jay Clay and Trey Yates. And Hayes Smith and Justin Davis. We got a two-way tie there. 4.5 seconds each. Saddle Bronc, good old Brody Crest. Big D, 89 points on Calgary Stampede Rodeos. Freedom Express. Don't look like we're getting that tonight. Tie down roping, second round. Macon Murphy, 7.4 seconds. Barrel racing, Carly Otero, 17.18 tenths. Good time there. Bull riding, first round. Wasey Shalala, 88 points on Bridwell Pro Rodeos. Fred. Total payout on this rodeo, $337,972. We'll talk a little bit more about the DNC while we're on the subject. How about Magic Johnson? Hear about this one today, BB? Yeah. Magic Johnson mocked for calling the Obama's DNC speeches the best in the history of our country. Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart. NBA legend Magic Johnson suffered a social media backlash after gushing that Barack and Michelle Obama's speeches during Tuesday's Democratic National Convention were the best in the history of our country. The former president and first lady took to the convention stage on Tuesday to rouse those in attendance and to convince the country to vote for Kamala Harris for president. But Johnson was overawed by the former president and his wife. Former President Barack and First Lady Michelle Obama gave the best political speeches in the history of our country, Johnson wrote, like an enamored schoolgirl. The powerful couple talked about working class families, family values, and moving the country forward together. They were powerful, intelligent, compassionate, and sealed with integrity, he exclaimed. The Obamas electrified the crowd for the Harris Waltz campaign heading into the election, and both focused on reasons why Kamala Harris will be a strong president, the former basketball star added in another post. What a special and phenomenal night for the 2024 Democratic National Convention, he gushed. But many social media users were shocked by Johnson's absurdly effusive proclamation. Better than I have a dream, one commenter wrote. Damn, Magic, gonna have to disagree there. Better than the Emancipation Proclamation, another shocked ex-user added. In history is a sketch, Magic, a third wrote. Many others also piled on. People were like really just jumping on him. I can't even read some of these tweets. But yeah, good old Magic Johnson, Big D out there, saying Michelle and Barack there gave the speech of a lifetime. Unlike Bill tonight. I wonder what he have to say about Bill tonight. Who knows? Maybe Steve Kerr will be gushing about this speech.
For Bill talking about Trump and all of he talks about himself. Barack Obama did that for, that's all he did last night, by the way. And I wonder if Bill Clinton saw President Trump, after almost getting assassinated today, I think it was today, walk off the stage because some lady had fainted, and he decided to leave the bulletproof glass and walk over to the stands where the poor lady was. I believe it was a woman, to make sure that she was okay.
Yeah.
Was he eyeing it then, Bill? No, probably not.
Nope, absolutely not.
All right, what else, Slick?
Jason Whitlock, black WNBA players are racist towards Caitlin Clark. ESPN covers it up. Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. Podcast host Jason Whitlock believes that WNBA players are exhibiting racist attitudes towards Caitlin Clark, and major networks such as ESPN aren't reporting it. Whitlock's accusation follows yet another incident this weekend in which the Seattle Storm's Skylar Diggins-Smith went out of her way and increased her gait to ram into Clark as the number 1 overall pick was revving up the Seattle fans. However, the Diggins-Smith incident is just the most recent. There have been other notably far more violent attacks against Clark, most notably when Chicago's Shanetti Kennedy Carter slammed into Clark's blindside in an unprovoked act. Those actions from black players in the league and the network's relative silence about them have Whitlock crying foul. One of the biggest stories in sports the last year and a half, and the person that should be Sports Person of the Year is Caitlin Clark. What cannot be discussed is the level of racial animus that is being directed at her. If you're in independent media, if you are a Twitter, you can talk about it all the time, but I've yet to see it discussed on ESPN. Like, holy cow, these hating blank Shaniquas, this is racism. This is Whitlock talking here. They played in Seattle Storm, and Noel Quinn is the Storm's head coach. Noel Quinn got into a heated argument with Christy Sides, the head coach of the Indiana Fever, at the end of the game. They got the doors blown off by Caitlin Clark and the Fever, and at the end of it, Noel Quinn starts yelling, screaming, and preaching at Christy Sides. What if it was was at the end of the game, Caitlin Clark, they're up big. There's a timeout. She's down at the end of the court where the Seattle Storm bench is, and she's clapping and motioning to the crowd to keep pumping up the noise. Skylar Diggs intentionally bumps into Clark and carries her into the Storm huddle and sideline arena. You can see at the very end of the clip, Noel Quinn gets triggered. So I guess, Whitlock is seeing a little bit of racism. Of course, ESPN isn't talking much about it. He kind of goes on in too much
ESPN
detail here.
Not only not talking about it, did you hear Pat McAfee today?
No.
On with... who was he on with? I can't remember his name. He was on with the guy who used to be, I believe, at ESPN. Now he's got his own show over, I think, on Fox Sports. He's got a big radio show. I can't think of his name. Whatever. McAfee said that he hinted that ESPN has basically told him not to talk about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so
case in point.
He didn't say it out loud, but he basically hinted towards it. So
yeah, well, he would be one to come out and say it, but hey, I don't want the guy put his job on the line over something like this. But
Clinton's still talking.
Are you kidding?
Oh man!
Or he's praying. It looks like he fell. Oh, no, okay, he didn't fall asleep.
People are heading for the exits.
He wasn't inhaling.
Yeah,
me.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. All right. Anything else in sports?
No, that's a wrap in sports. Big D.
Right,
back to Clinton.
No, I don't think back to Clinton is on the.
You sure?
You
all right,
sure?
fine. Let's hear just where is he at now?
Yeah, come on, take us home.
Take us home. Give me 30 seconds, Bill.
Living in poverty.
Huh? Maisie Hirono. Oh no.
He says that we got to make home ownership an achievable dream for everyone.
What is he doing?
Oh.
Is he doing his own campaign speech?
He said that and this meant a lot to me, that she would protect everybody's right to vote, whether or not they voted for her. They were citizens, and they deserve
whether
the
or
right
not they're illegal or not.
Oh, did you hear him say he did slip the word in citizens?
Oh, he's going to get
in trouble for that one.
Citizen, Rick.
The other day, her opponent implied that it's his people voted one more time, they'd be able to rig it.
He's lost it.
God, that's painful.
Wow.
Good Lord.
Someone in the chat's called him
That was a DNC dud.
Someone in the chat's called his speech ear rape.
Yeah. It was going to be a lot better than that.
All right, if you're in the chat, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up. Ba-ba-na-ba-ba-ba. God, I never had so many people thank me as when we pulled off of Clinton.
And just as many said no when we went back.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, a lot of people were not happy about that.
But that we pulled off?
No, that we went back to it.
Oh. Well, I mean, we only had 36 seconds, I figured.
It's 30 seconds too many.
I know 36 seconds that we can't get back. I get it.
Well, it's a former president.
Who's after, I mean, I don't know when Clinton's... Oh, come on. We
gotta watch that.
Pelosi,
Stop it.
I mean,
Come
we
on.
have
Come
to
on.
watch some of Pelosi. We have
She's
to.
had a couple of drinks
That's
already.
got to be comic. I mean, come on.
She's liquored up.
The audience has to at least... All right. Let's go in the chat here just real quick. 1, if we want Pelosi. 2, if no. 1 comes with our live commentary and to see if we can see if it was Balvini or what she hit.
Bellini.
1 for yes. 2 for no.
Scotch rocks.
Got to be quick. 1 or 2. Let's go. I'm going to watch. It's got to start flying. I want it to see flying. Every single person watching has to give me a 1 or 2. I'm seeing a lot of 1. Drunk alert. Drunk alert.
Yes.
Yes. Come on, ones. Come on, ones.
Naked
Come on,
Amplified
Patron
Subtime.
Pelosi.
Come on, ones. Quicker. 1. Come on, ones. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of 2s now, too. Oh, man.
Dead even on
Some
Twitter.
no Pelosi's.
Oh, this is like so close. Hammer Fight Club. 111 Hammer Fight Club. Let's go. Oh, come on. 1s or 2. Oh, I see a 0.
1s are leading on Twitter.
I see 11. 1s are leading on Twitter. Ooh. Oh my God!
I think we got to give her.
I think people want to see if she's going to fall over.
Of course they do. Who doesn't want to watch a good train wreck?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
I'm not surprised.
I wonder if Paul's
Rumble
there tonight.
looks split right now.
Rumble split. 1s are winning on X. I'd say 1s are winning on YouTube as well.
Her husband's getting hammered in the stadium bar.
Pinokin's at 3.
Charles Barkley Shorts just put in 10 twos.
Oh my God!
I'm serious. Production said 1 shake and not
Come on,
stirred.
let's have a little fun.
Planokin says 3.
Come on.
3 means he's not going to watch.
I mean, there's got to be some slurring and some Botox and some arms going. I mean, it's just come on. How good is this going to be?
This is a Grey Goose moment. Come on.
Come on. This is, come on. Let's all be team players here tonight.
Are you kidding me?
All right, 13 to the hour live from Studio 6B. So we did our own independent poll in the break.
Very scientific.
Very scientific poll. 1 for yes. Let's see how drunk Nancy Pelosi is when she takes the mic. 2 for absolutely not. And the 1s, I think we could fairly say, now it's come with the caveat that we have to be funny, which is what we try to do every single night. That's our only goal on this show, is to try to be funny. And if we can bring you news and make you laugh, that's a side thing, and that's good.
It's true.
Our only goal here is to try to entertain and be funny, not to take it too seriously. So I think with that caveat, I'd have to say the 1s, I mean, they came hot and heavy. I mean, I must have had 1,000 messages there in 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 1s won.
Yeah, it's close on
that?
it's
One's
close.
one, yeah.
It's close on Rumble. I'll give you that much. But Pablo Cruz 1 says, "I want to see her dentures fly out. Let's go."
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're just hoping for some moment like that where she does something, and I mean, who knows? You know, we get to see her. I don't know how much Botox she got today, or
right. It could be one of those moments that you look back on. As you look back in your life, like if somebody asks you, "Where were you when that happened at the DNC with Nancy Pelosi?"
when she face planted onto the Okay, Bubba looks like he's done.
Oh my goodness! Thank God, he's pickled.
Bubba's done. He's going to go.
Somebody in the YouTube chat, Becky, she said it looked like he was embalmed.
Let's see. The person's prepping the.
Okay.
All right, let's go to this, Aaron. Let's see what the introduction is and what the response is and what the walk is. Let's try to get the whole. All right, Bubba's on his way out.
Oh yeah,
he's glad handing everybody.
Yeah.
He is. Hey, anybody got a cigar?
He's handing out his hotel room keys. Anybody want one?
Yeah.
Oh, Here we go. Here we go.
Is this her?
Oh,
Here we go.
Is this her?
Leave here without giving a
No.
shout out
Oh, no.
to
No.
the
What is this?
amazing delegation from my home state.
What is this?
Massachusetts. I love you, Massachusetts.
Oh, she's like the host?
Everyone is always hating
Oh my
on
God,
us.
with that voice. Okay,
But they
let's
just
take
don't
the
get
sound
it.
down.
Go Sox.
Okay, yeah, go
Go
Sox.
Sox.
Okay.
She doesn't even say it.
White Sox, they're awful.
So is she going to introduce Pelosi?
Donuts is the best coffee in the world. Okay. Our next speaker needs no introduction.
there we go.
She was the first woman to ever serve as Speaker of the House. Yes.
Oh, the crowd loves her.
You know what's coming.
We love lizards.
This woman was doing Brat before Brat was Brat. The mother of dragons.
What does that mean?
Please welcome
Mother of-
Nancy Pelosi.
She is the mother.
Mother of dragons.
You got that part right.
That's actually all right, oh, there
I
she
see
is.
it. I see
Oh,
it.
the wave.
Here we go. Walk the straight line.
Looks a little bit.
Oh! I saw that lazy
You got
leg.
that hand right up to
I
that
saw that
podium
little- I
quick.
saw that
Grab
stank
on.
leg.
He looks a little disheveled,
Oh,
too.
here we go.
Stank leg there, Big D.
Okay.
Come on.
She's got a little extra.
Oh yeah, she
A little
got.
extra
Let's see if
red
we're
on
gonna
that
get
thing.
the if we're gonna get the
lipstick, too.
Pelosi.
Hey, James Brown is
James Brown.
California.
Oh, there we go.
with her gigantic
Pavarotti hand.
Love it.
This should be something.
Hello, Democrats.
Hello, Democrats. Okay. Who else would you be speaking to?
On January 20th, 2021,
This is like Crazy
the
Town without the music.
inauguration of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, we established one of the most successful presidencies of modern times.
Come on. Oh, wow.
Remember, she's
And we
solely
quickly
responsible
proved
for the
that
stabbing in the back of this guy.
Deliver.
She is the.
Millions of
They
jobs.
deliver, all right.
She was the
Stronger
assassin.
She's the boss.
infrastructure
She's
and
the
rural
crime boss
broadband,
in this hit.
a Biden child tax credit,
hold
rescuing human pensions, honoring our
Kicking in
veterans,
human pensions.
bold
Rescuing
climate
human
action,
pensions.
As opposed to all those
lowering
dog
the
pensions
cost
that
of
didn't get
prescription
saved.
drugs,
See, I knew this was
all
going to be
thanks
good.
to
She has
President
martini
Biden's
olive necklace.
patriotic vision of a fairer America.
Oh, she's going back
doing
and forth
so
quick.
with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thank you, Joe.
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 Thank you, Joe.
She is sauced.
Thank you, Joe.
This is
And
a
I
classic.
know
She's threesome
that Vice
drunk.
President Harris is
She is.
ready to take us to new heights.
She sounds like she's already
I've
there.
known Kamala Harris for decades. Personally, I know her a person of deep faith,
Oh, yeah.
which is reflected in her community care and service.
What?
Officially,
Officially?
she is a leader of strength and wisdom and eloquence on policy, most recently demonstrated fighting for women's right to choose.
Of course.
Yes.
Abortion talk. Here we go. That's going to be the key focus.
Politically, she is astute and strategic in winning.
They must have the
difficult
teleprompters
elections,
way up in the
quickly
air.
securing
Yeah.
the nomination with
'Cause they're all
dignity
looking
and
way up.
grace,
She's
and
not tall,
choosing
really.
Tim Walz as our vice president.
Nominee.
Moisten those
I
lips.
had
Yeah.
the honor of serving with Tim for 12 years in the Congress. He united Democrats, Republicans, and Independents
Cheers,
to
Nan.
turn a red district blue.
Yeah, Minnesota was really red.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
showed
sure.
courage when
That
he
was a tough
came to Congress
challenge.
in voting for the Affordable Care Act, meeting the needs of
Derek?
his constituents despite Republicans' lies and misrepresentation. When he went home, won the election, he returned to Congress.
Come on.
He fought for our Americans' heroes as the Democratic leader of the Veterans Affairs Committee. Thank you, Tim.
That was really smooth.
That was.
Where
They're
is
actually
Tim?
going to. Is that
B. Arthur?
January 6th was a perilous moment for our
thought she
democracy.
died.
Never before had a president
Nancy
of
or
the United
the author?
States so brazenly assaulted the bedrock of our democracy,
Oh, like Paul
so
got assaulted.
completely embraced political violence, so willfully
What? Here's a good
betrayed his
question.
oth of office.
What?
Let us
Where
not
is
forget
Kamala?
who assaulted democracy
Oh.
on January 6th.
Oh, here we go.
No, here we go.
He did.
Whoa!
He did.
Was that in
But
all
let us
caps?
not forget who saved democracy that day.
Who?
Who?
We did.
Oh, yeah.
That's not what you said on camera.
Right. Ask your daughter.
You
She got the
lying
film.
witch.
And thank God we had a Democratic House of Representatives then.
Where's the Balvinis?
We returned to the Capitol that very same night. We insisted on certifying the election results.
Do you believe that this is nothing about the future, nothing about what they're going to do for you?
America and to the world that American democracy prevailed. The parable of January 6th reminds us that our democracy is only as strong as the courage and commitment of those entrusted with its care. And we must choose leaders who believe in free and fair elections, who respect the peaceful transfer of
it's like I'm
power.
living on another planet when I hear them talk about these things.
The choice couldn't be clearer.
That's
Those
true.
leaders are Vice President Harris and Governor Walz.
Get the dentures fixed there, Nan.
Yeah,
When
doing
the
a little
sun
lizard
rose
thing.
on January 7th, as our national anthem declares, we gave proof through the night
Oh, my God.
that our flag was still
Oh, my
there.
goodness.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
Hey,
Now, in this
That Bruce
election,
Willis?
we are
No.
called upon to do the same.
Even he wouldn't
To
vote
stand
Democrat.
together, to reject autocracy, to choose democracy,
Yeah.
and we will do
We're
so
not a democracy, but that's
by
okay.
electing a
Keep saying it.
Democratic House with Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker of the House,
Oh yeah, that's just what we want.
Baby Obama.
electing a Democratic Senate, electing Tim Walz as Vice President of the United States,
Yeah. Good luck with that.
and electing Kamala Harris as the President of the United States.
Now get me the
Onward
sauce.
to victory!
What was that?
Onward to the open bar.
There we go. Now let's see.
Here she comes.
Look at this.
I can do this. I can do this.
Who's driving?
Oh, my goodness.
I can do this.
Did someone call the Uber?
She's a little top heavy to begin with.
Oh,
isn't it?
my.
Oh my lord! Well, no, Delgado, that's
What?
just a little strong. That's a little
God.
strong.
What?
You know, you need to bust that out.
Come on,
What?
you don't need
You got
that.
a big head.
Yeah, really.
Oh, okay.
You know?
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Now you got the governor, another self-hater who's trying to un-Jew himself. That would be the governor of Pennsylvania. Is supposed to be up next.
Un-Jew.
Josh Shapiro, who, yes, trying to un-Jew himself. That's
Oh, we're
what
gonna get a
Kamala Harris.
as we will hear nothing about
auntie.
Israel. That's enough
She'll
of
be
this.
a president. Who cares?
Oh, my goodness. You know what's
when,
odd?
When Shapiro comes back, we'll. Are we taking this break? Okay, no breaks.
Who's
you know
next?
you know what's very odd before I step out because I have to get up in the morning to go to work? No sign of is it Kamala?
It's Kamala. La.
Yeah, no sign of her tonight, but we knew that. She said last
no
night, I'll
sign
see you
of Tim
Thursday.
Waltz. And why did she leave before?
Well, Tim Waltz is the main
and
attraction tonight.
Why did she leave the
last night?
Before Obama spoke.
Wasn't she on the
Well, she
plane?
wasn't there last night. She was in Milwaukee at a fundraising event.
That's a stupid planning.
What do you mean? She wasn't in Chicago.
She didn't jump up in a blue suit.
That was live from Milwaukee.
Oh, she was in Milwaukee?
Yes, that was live from Milwaukee. She joined them via tele whatever.
Was that Fiserv Arena? Was that
that was where the Republicans held their conventions,
Fiserv.
where she was last night doing a
that was a packed
rally.
But why
fundraiser?
Why wasn't she there? Why wasn't Biden there?
She was circling the air, watching her husband speak about her on a laptop. They kept the plane.
Well, you know, in most conventions, when we growing up, you didn't see the presidential nominee till Thursday night. They didn't show up like all 3-4 nights. They were never there.
That's very true.
They're always the vice president was Wednesday. The presidential candidate was on Thursday night. You never saw them before that. That was
You
the
never
big
saw her
reveal.
before that?
No,
not really. No,
almost
saw
never.
her first night though.
They're putting out.
No, not usually. You didn't see them at all until they took the stage.
They're putting Kamala out in little hits because
Yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah, because I mean,
she can't do much damage.
I would think tomorrow night is going to have to be the most rehearsed. I mean, I can't imagine I guess I can imagine what she's going to say. I mean, it's obviously going to be. She's probably read it 4,000 times,
and she'll still get it wrong.
And she'll still sound Well, like we know she is, not that bright. But, all right, so we're going to stay with you through the top of the hour. Delgado's going to go. We're going to listen to, I guess, the governor of Pennsylvania is up next. It'll be interesting to hear what we hear from him. I can guarantee you there'll be nothing about Israel, I would suspect. And then after that, you've got Catherine Cortez Mastro from Nevada. Then you have another performance at 10, which is, I guess they're a little behind because that's coming up. And then you'll have Wes Moore, who this party also sees as the future of this party, young African-American who's the governor, I believe, of Maryland. Wes Moore will be up. Then you have Pete Buttigieg.
Oh, the juice.
Then you'll have John Legend, Sheila E., all performing.
Yeah, they're doing a Prince song.
Then Amy Klobuchar from Minnesota.
Oh, she's a showstopper.
2 a.m, you'll have Benjamin Ingman from former student of Governor Walz. And then at about 3:30 a.m., you'll have the Honorable Tim Walz take the stage.
Wow.
He's got what we call the check spot.
And then, then the benediction from William Emanuel Hall, lead pastor of St. James Church in Chicago, should be around, Mass time, I guess, about 7 a.m. before they wrap this. I mean, the timing of this, I don't know.
That's when they open the breakfast buffet.
I don't get it. But that's the schedule here, and we'll take a little bit of it before Charlie Kirk, I believe, comes up. Around 10:30 or so. So, all right, top of the hour. Let's. We didn't do any news. Delgado, you're out of here.
Yeah, I got one more clip though for you.
All right, go ahead.
This one coming from Joe Biden's own administration. I guess they don't really know how things work over there in the Commerce Department. As Commerce Secretary says, she doesn't believe news of the grim job revisions because Trump said it. She actually said this. So I'm talking about Secretary of Commerce Gina Raimondo. Here she is. This is cut number 3. Take a listen for yourself.
When you hear that, do you potentially think that this new numbers could be a liability for this campaign?
No. When I hear that, first of all, I don't believe it because I've never heard Donald Trump say anything truthful.
It is, though, from the Bureau of Labor.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, the Bureau of Labor, who is one of the departments under her.
Yeah, that's the Secretary of Commerce. Secretary of Commerce doesn't know the Bureau of Labor statistics and what they put out today.
Yeah,
which we highlighted, by the way, on this show in March. In March, we talked about the article that was in Zero Hedge at the time, which I reposted today because people pointed to it after they made it official that all these jobs we've been told and how strong the job market is. Oops. Well, we only missed by 815,000 or something like that. And they thought it could be upwards of 1 million.
Yeah.
It's the biggest downward revision, I believe, in 25 years. And what do you know? Just in time for the Fed, who will speak at Jackson Hole on Friday. August is always the month that there's no official meeting for the Fed. But he always gives the Jackson Hole speech where they all go out there and meet, and he'll do that on Friday, and people will be paying attention. Just in time for him to say, well, these we're going to have to cut rates in September. And the only question will be whether it's a 25 basis point cut or a 50 basis point cut. And what do you know? We'll start to lower interest rates September and probably October, and of course, November happens after the election. But you'll have 2 cuts just in time for the election after they've played a Ouija board with all of the job numbers now for a year. And the chickens came home to roost today. 815,000 jobs that they told us were there were not there.
Yeah. And it just makes you wonder if they're cooking the books on these numbers. You can imagine what they're doing to some of the other numbers that they put out. That they tout, that we always see, it got revised downward. It gets revised. It always seems to get revised in the negative when we're talking about numbers coming out of the federal government when they're trying to talk about the economy. So the next number, I guess the next thing we have to look forward to is maybe how they define recession and define some of the other things, having to do with the economy, because according to what you just heard there, that is the definition of fake news.
Absolutely. And don't believe the inflation numbers either.
Yeah.
Gas is 50, maybe 51% higher now than it was the day Trump left. And they're trying to tell us that, oh, well, inflation's down to 2.7. No. It's huge. Everything is way up. I don't believe anything that comes out of this administration. It's all, it's just these phantom numbers and whatnot. Now, and the Facebook fascists, when you argue with them, I just don't get why. How much bad news does it take before someone will say, "Oh, okay, maybe I've been lied to a lot. Maybe Hunter's laptop was real." And but some people are just warped. They're the people who are standing on the deck of the Titanic. I've said before, you guys are dumb. We're not sinking. This boat's unsinkable.
Yeah, it's unsinkable.
You guys conspiracy link. You got a link. But some people are always going to buy the nonsense.
Yeah, it's very 1984. That they're happier to believe the lie than to believe that they got lied to.
Yeah.
And again, the problem with wherever you think inflation is, most experts think inflation is not a problem anymore. By the pure numbers, of course, we've talked about CPI and this basket of nonsense that they put together. The issue is, whatever Tom Lee over there at Fundstrat thinks about inflation is different than we think about it because we live our lives. We don't live our lives a year over year, month over month. We live our lives in the moment when we go to the grocery store right now. We go to the gas station today. We don't feel like, as Kevin says, inflation is what they tell us because they deal with it in this, minutia of a way to come up with these numbers that we just don't live our lives that way. So people go to the grocery store and go, what do you mean inflation's down only 2.8% and you think it's going to be going down to 2% here in the next whatever, so you're going to start cutting rates. Well, we don't feel that. I go to the grocery store and see what I spend and look down and go, wait, I spent that to get that? I just spent what to fill up my car? I just spent what to heat my house? And again, we brought this article back in March, and the headline then was, Philadelphia Fed admits U.S. payrolls overstated by at least 800,000. This was on March 29th of this year. March 29th. We talked about this that night on the show. Saying, does anyone see this number that the Philly Fed just came out and thinks that these jobs are overstated? What do they keep talking about, all this job creation? We said it's mostly second jobs that people have to go get because they can't survive on one. And then a lot of it has been government jobs that they've created. It's not private sector jobs. It's not the American people doing so great. It's not the job market in the consumer's not hanging on like everybody wants you to believe. And that's when this started. And at least Zero Hedge, and at least us at the time, just because I happened to see it, talked about it back then. Everybody today acted like, oh, look at this. I can't believe these were so surprised. Why were you surprised? If you were paying any attention, they've been cooking these numbers. And these revisions every single month have been down, down, down. And they keep coming out saying, oh, look at this job creation. They keep beating. Every month was a beat. Every month was a beat. And then if you looked at the last month after the new beat, you realize, well, last month wasn't exactly the beat we thought. Oh, the revisions were down. The revisions were down. And now 815,000 jobs that they told us they created, that the Harris-Biden administration created, they did not create. So, a couple other things. Who's on, Aaron, who's on stage right now? Okay, video. Did Wes Moore already go? Okay, so we've got... okay, they added someone else. So we got Wes Moore, Pete Buttigieg, John Legend, Sheila E., Amy Klobuchar, and then again, by about 2 a.m, we'll get to Tim Walz. So,
God, this is crazy.
Yeah, it is absolutely crazy. A couple other things I just want to touch on while we have some time, while we're waiting for the next speaker. Not that we're going to take the next speaker, but we'll see who it is. Newsweek today, going back to what Kevin brought up about polling, and John Solomon had a great thing about why these numbers and these polls you can't trust. And I don't know this outfit, so I'm not going to sit here and say this is the one you should trust, because, again, I don't trust any of them. Navigator Research, I have not heard of them, survey. Kamala Harris not leading in a single battleground state in new poll. Vice President Kamala Harris is not leading in a single battleground state. This is in Newsweek, by the way, not in like Breitbart. According to a new poll, the survey conducted by Navigator Research between July 31st and August 8th showed the Democrat presidential nominee and former President Donald Trump are tied in Michigan, North Carolina, and Wisconsin, while Harris is behind in Arizona and in Pennsylvania. In the 2020 presidential election, Joe Biden carried Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, while Trump defeated Biden only in North Carolina. However, the states are now neck and neck, according to Navigator Research. In Michigan, the two candidates are tied at 44% each when third-party candidates are included, while in Wisconsin, they're tied on 45%, and in North Carolina, tied at around 46%. But in Arizona and Pennsylvania, Harris is performing marginally worse than Trump, who's at least 1 point ahead of her in Arizona on 46% and 2 points ahead of her in Pennsylvania, also at 46%. Overall, the race is tied, they say, at 45% across the battleground states when third-party candidates are included, with 7% voting for a third-party candidate. Well, that 7% may not have another choice as of Friday, so we'll see. And 3% undecided. What do you think about that 3%? You think there's more than 3% undecided?
I don't think there are 3 people who are undecided right now. I think everyone knows. No one's like, well, let me see what this one feels about that. I don't buy that for a moment. I don't buy these polls. I think these polls are intended. Well, we're just going to keep them so close so we can cheat her in. That's all I think it is.
I agree. Yep, they're playing.
So anyways, again, I don't know this outfit. Navigator Research, haven't really heard them. Maybe I should have, but I haven't. But that's in Newsweek today. So again, what we've talked about and what the Solomon polling showing Harris's lead is flagged by industry experts for voter samples. Yeah, that's why we say I think the most accurate look you can get right now is to look where the money's going. That's real deal. That's people saying, you know, if they're putting money down on it and the bookies are taking the action, I'll look at what the odds are there, and I trust that a lot more than I trust anything else.
You know what? My friend, we'll call him Patriot Bobby, sent me this a couple minutes ago. He's looking at, presidential election winner. Right now, the betting odds, Trump 52%, Kamala Harris 47%. And I also heard on the grapevine, they're keeping these polls close. They're lying to do it, but they're doing it so that they'll keep the money coming into Kamala. Mm-hmm. If the donors dry up, it's game over. So that's another reason to throw out some bogus polls, say, hey, look what we got going on, when they don't really have it going on. They just want they want to cheat their way in, but it's the polls, or the donors right now. They can't lose their donors.
All right, so on stage right now is Catherine Cortez Masto. She is from Nevada, another state that Trump, I believe, is going to win. Let's listen to a little bit of what she's talking about.
Homeowners deserved. Her leadership helped win billions for working families nationwide.
Amazing they're taking the time to focus on this home ownership. This administration has made home ownership absolutely unreachable for the majority of people in this country, especially young people.
Yep.
The cost of a house, of a down payment, of borrowing money, everything they have made unreachable for young kids. And now they want to take gasoline and pour it on the inflation fire by saying we're going to give $25,000 to first generation, or however the hell they're going to word it, first-time buyers. And that is somehow being spun as some great thing for people in the country.
So we could understand who we were fighting for.
Just speaking to economic illiterate people.
That's Kamala Harris. So trust me when I say I know she will fight for our families and our freedoms. Now,
no, she won't.
We must fight for her.
Not.
Every vote matters. I know.
Even the illegal ones.
In 2016, Nevadans elected me, the granddaughter of a baker from Mexico, to serve as the first Latina in the United States Senate.
Boy, they love they just love to put their,
I'll tell you what.
their little tags on, whatever they are.
It's all genitalia and skin color with these people.
All of it.
Yeah,
My
total.
re-election.
They do it when they
came
introduce
down
them too. Please welcome,
7,000.
proud Latina.
Yep.
And it makes me insane when they throw an accent on
Because
Latina.
of voters in Nevada,
like some Mel Blanc thing.
Democrats
Yeah, did you hear
won
them
the Senate
introduce the
majority.
doofus from the View last night there, the supposed Republican, which is a joke?
And I'm here to tell you, we can do it again. We can send Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to the White House. Are we ready to do it?
No.
Are we ready to fight? Let's get it done, Chicago.
Now, wait a minute. Now, are we ready to fight? I mean,
that sounds familiar.
Weren't we told that you can't use that kind of language?
Yeah,
Trump, I mean, it was fight. Oh,
that's January 6th.
This guy. This
Come on.
is very insurrection-y.
Yes.
And did she just give one of these?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here comes the I'm trying to un-Jew myself, governor of Pennsylvania. Let's see how long it takes for him to talk about Israel. Oh, never.
Oh, this guy, yeah. Let's see if he mentions it at all.
Thank you. 2.5 centuries ago in Philadelphia,
Nancy Pelosi
a band
started
of patriots declared their independence from a king and set ourselves on a path of self-determination. Generation after generation has embraced that responsibility. Ordinary Americans rising up, demanding more, seeking justice. And in every chapter of our American story, we've made progress and advanced the cause of freedom. Today we find ourselves writing that next chapter. Will we be a nation defined by chaos and extremism? Or will we choose a path of decency, honor, and continued progress? Kamala Harris, well, she has spent her entire career making progress. Donald Trump, a man with no guardrails, wants to take away our rights and our freedoms. And listen, while he cloaks himself in the blanket of freedom, what he's offering isn't freedom at all. Because hear me on this, it's not freedom to tell our children what books they're allowed to read.
They're banning porn, you animal.
No, it's not.
I'm waiting for someone in the crowd to yell,
And it's
Jew
not
boy.
freedom to tell women what
hate
they
him.
can do with their bodies.
So lame.
He's a
And hear me on this, it sure as hell isn't freedom to say you can go vote.
Although,
but
pay
he
attention
gets
to
pick
him
the winner.
and then
That's
watch
not
Waltz.
Freedom.
You'll be thankful that she chose Waltz over this guy. This guy would have been much more of a problem.
Yeah.
You know
Especially
what,
coming from that
Democrats?
state.
We are the party
may be a
of
strategic
real
mistake.
freedom.
Those votes.
That's right.
You know, I was ecstatic
Kind
when
of
she
real
when she
freedom
dodged
that comes
Shapiro and went
when
with
that child has a
Tampon
great
Tim.
public
Me too.
school with an awesome teacher because we believe in her future. Real freedom that comes when we invest in the police and in the community so that child can walk to and from school and get home safely to her mama.
Right, but your candidate doesn't believe in that.
No.
Not at
Real
all.
freedom that comes when she can join a union, marry who she loves, start a family on her own terms, breathe clean air, drink pure water, worship how she wants, and live a life of purpose where she is respected
Platitudes.
for who she
Point to anybody that doesn't agree with all of that. Marry who you want, live who you life. You guys don't. It's just.
She is.
Let's talk about those two mass
Real
shootings
freedom.
in 7 days in Philadelphia.
Real
Kids.
freedom that comes when she can look at
Another
Madam
guy trying to be
President
Obama.
and know
Yeah.
that this is a nation where anything and everything is possible. That is real freedom, and that is what we
Are we going to hear the we're not the red states, we're not the blue states, we're the United? Is we going to get one of those here?
Oh, yeah, we haven't heard that yet.
You know, Kamala and Tim's names may be on the ballot, but it's your rights. It's our rights. It's our future and freedoms that are on the line. And you have the power to shape the future of this country. Just like our ancestors who fought for freedom on the battlefield and sat in at lunch counters so our kids could stand up.
You know, I think most of the nation watching this, they don't think a 14-year-old should be able to lop off his business.
No.
They don't want their kids reading.
It's on us, my friends, to
too many do, though.
organize in our communities.
Too many, yeah.
And on our For You pages.
I mean, again, nothing about Israel from this guy. And if you hear some of the interviews going on outside,
value
do you support
our freedom.
October 7th? Well, yeah.
We cherish our
Really?
democracy.
Why? Oh, because it's not. It was Israel. They were
country.
wrong. Yeah. Started, 150 years ago, whatever they said.
They got attacked. They wrong.
And they said, well, no, but do you actually support the killing of going into these? Well, yeah. It's like, what do you say to what do you ask the guy next?
You know what? It's in the Quran. You need to kill all the Jews.
And listen,
they'll when they take over, they'll give Christians the option to convert. They will not do that with Jewish people.
I have never been more hopeful because I see in all of you.
You know what? He would have been a problem. He's a way better speaker than Walls.
Way better.
Of America.
Even though he's full of crap.
Pluribus unum out of
he's got a
many
high approval rating in
Pennsylvania. It's not really a motto from the past. It's our direction for the future.
You know what's? You can't watch all these and not pick up on the fact that there is a science to this political speaking.
Let's use that power.
They're all doing the same thing.
The hard work necessary
the good ones.
The good ones, yeah.
To win this election.
I got Tin Cup in the getter asking me for baseball scores. You'd rather hear baseball scores than this.
So are you ready to protect our rights? Are you ready to secure our freedoms?
Sounds like it's wrapping up.
And are you ready to defend our democracy? And are you ready to elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz? America,
this is what Kamala was worried about, that this guy would upstage her, and he would have.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we couldn't have that. So he was supposed to be in the 9 o'clock hour, so now he's done. So now I guess they're at least 20 minutes behind, and they've got 10 or 11 things on the 10 o'clock hour. I mean, Waltz is not going to be on.
Presidential inaugural poet in
I mean, literally till midnight.
Wow, yeah, because you got Sheila E. and John Legend.
2 performances, yeah, 2. Unless that's one performance, I think it's.
I think it's together. They're going to do some kind of Prince tribute, believe it or not, probably for Waltz.
So this is supposed to be the opening of the 10 o'clock hour. It's already 10:21, so they're 21 minutes behind with 10 things to go. I mean, Waltz won't be on till midnight.
Yeah,
I can't imagine that's where they wanted their vice. Well, maybe they did actually.
Yeah.
American dream.
Now that I think about it, maybe they just know that the Richard Simmons Act is not going to go too well.
Yeah.
Shall perish from the earth.
Oh wow!
All right, this is some performance.
This is
Amanda Gorman, National Youth Poet Laureate. So
he's a poet that doesn't know it.
For a people that cannot.
All right, you can keep it up, Aaron, but just take the sound down. So we'll do a little more news with Kevin Downey here, and I got a couple things, and we'll do some more sports, and we'll wait for. I guess I'm interested to hear maybe the governor of Maryland. This is who they think the future of the party is, besides Hakeem Jeffries. People wanted him to. If the Democrats did have an open primary and then decide to just install the person who never won a primary vote ever in her entire life, a lot of people were hoping for Wes Moore and Josh Shapiro to form a ticket and go to the convention, by the way. So it'll be interesting to hear from him, maybe.
You know what? Josh Shapiro on the ticket might have been a guaranteed win. Because he would have brought Pennsylvania.
I mean, the road to 270 for any Republican is extremely difficult. It just, the way it lays out, and they say, talk about the old blue wall has to hold up, and I mean, she's polling well in all of them, so we know it's going to be tight. But Shapiro definitely would have been, seeming to me, I'm still stunned. I'm stunned by the Waltz pick just because of where he comes from. It doesn't help electorally at all. And then obviously as we find out all these things about the stolen valor and everything, I mean, it's a shocking pick. But it's not shocking that she went as radical as she is, and that's what
Yeah, she's a total apparatchik, and they might already have plans to cheat her in. I think the plan, as I said before, keep the polls tight, even if you're lying, and say, "Oh, she snuck in. That's just what happened." And I think that's when, if Trump's not already in jail, I think they're going to find a way to put him in.
Well, that's another thing we haven't talked about. I heard Will Scharf, who I love, brilliant guy. Didn't want to divulge all the things they're doing he was on with somebody. I think he was on with Grant Stinchfield the other night. But it sounds like they're trying to get that sentencing put off.
Yeah.
From September to, I mean, there's legitimately no reason that this sham should not be until after the election, if it even has to happen at all, which of course it shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Now,
but we'll see.
Let me run this past you. What if the plan is we're going to put off this sentencing? Hey, don't we look like the good guys? Cheat Kamala in and then go, that's it, 5 years. Gone.
Oh, absolutely. Could be. Absolutely could be the plan. Nothing would surprise me on how low they will stoop. Again, they play with brass knuckles. We play with pom-poms, so we know how that goes. So anything else in the news that's caught your attention, Kev?
Yeah, 72 Hitler Youth arrested in Chicago last night. Excuse me. Pro-Palestinian demonstrators at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago were arrested after clashing with police during a protest that began outside the nearby Israeli consulate. I didn't see Josh Shapiro mention that. Some protesters, include many dressed in black and their faces covered, reportedly charged at a line of police that had blocked the group from marching. So they rounded them up. Now, keep in mind, this is Chicago. This is where they don't arrest people who agree with them. This is where they will not arrest a black man with an illegal gun in his car if he's been pulled over, because they don't think you should pull certain groups over. This is where they caught an illegal immigrant with a concealed pistol and let him go. This man was not here legally, concealed. He didn't have a permit. Concealed pistol permits are hard to get in Chicago, and Chicago's got gun laws up the yahoo. But nope, they let him go. The writing's on the wall, folks. We're being replaced, and by we I mean all natural-born Americans. All right. If I have a pistol permit good in 40 states. If I go to Chicago with it right now, I'm going to jail. But not if you're swinging for the certain side. Then you're good. But I'm going to guess these clowns will be out by they're probably already out.
Yeah.
They're probably already out. Now, if you were a 75-year-old woman praying in front of an abortion clinic, well, that woman got 2 years. None of these people, nonviolent, of course, just standing in front of a door. And I'm against that. It's probably the hardest day of a woman's life. Don't do that. But 2 years in a federal penitentiary when you're in a wheelchair, that's sick. The lawfare, the persecutions are on. They've been going on for a while. Remember the guy that got 9 months for a meme?
Yes.
All right, look what they're doing in the UK right now. Locking people up for meme. Elon Musk shared something today where some guy was caught with child pornography, and the judge said, well, that's repulsive, but to get out of my courtroom. Didn't send him to jail. But someone said, hey, white people, it's okay to be white. That was the meme. It's okay to be white. That was racist. That person is in the Huskow right now.
Yeah, it's out of control. Out of control. And I mean, and you look at Chicago, we see the crime numbers, the shooting numbers, the murders that come out of there each and every week. You see the Brandon Johnson. I mean, you talk about a mayor who's in line with Kamala Harris as far as when it comes to law enforcement. I mean, he might be example A because she's right on board with him as far as if we could have no police. Get him out of the city totally, that's probably be what he'd for, but at least we have to reimagine police. Cut the budgets. That's why we tuned in Clinton or somebody was talking about support the police. What are you talking about? We've seen her actions. We've seen her put out the tweets about raising money for the fund that got criminals out of jail back in the summer of 2020. I think that tweet is still up on her profile.
And one of those guys who got let out went on to murder somebody.
Yes.
And you know what? But look what's going on now. Some animal who's here from Haiti raped a 15-year-old disabled girl. He got out on a $500 bail. And he got arrested again for doing something, but he got out. That's sick. But that's part of the plan. They need crime on the streets. They don't care what's happening to the little girls. Did we talk about the little boy? I think we did last night. Little 10-year-old boy from Minnesota, raped by an illegal immigrant from Mexico. Walked in, and that's the one they caught him for. How many people get arrested the first time they commit a crime? So who knows? Yeah. Who knows what he's been up to? You look at Lake and Riley. You look at the mother of 5 from Baltimore. Every week, there's another one or two.
Oh, they're telling you crime is down.
Yep, crime is down. Well, you know what? A lot of cities aren't reporting crimes anymore. L.A. and New York are not, and a lot of crimes they've been decriminalized. Oh, look, crime's down. Rape is up 40% in New York City right now.
That's a vicious crime.
Yeah, it's sick. It's sick. But when you talk to Eric Adams, no, things are going great. You know, I really hate him. He's a hype man more than anything. He's a horrible mayor, and you know what? I think he's going to lose this upcoming election because the Democrats have been flushing the apparatchiks that don't play well. Cori Bush is gone. Jamal Bowman's gone. And it's not gone because the people have spoken. They're gone because the Democrats said, you are not what we're looking for. You're out.
All right, very good. Kevin Downey Jr. with some news. Slick, before we wrap up here, any other sports that we haven't covered? Any scores, updates you want to give?
Yeah, absolutely. Tin Cup got his wish in the Getter chat. He said he'd rather hear the scores than these DNC speeches. Well, Cincinnati Reds came back to win. Well, the game's just about ready to wrap up. They're up 11-6 in the bottom of the ninth up in Toronto. And
so do you like them again?
Well, this is a very interesting story. Well, Cincinnati Reds superstar shortstop, he became the 5th player in Major League Baseball history to have 20 home runs and 60 steals, and just the 2nd since 1990. Ironically, the last time the Reds won the World Series, by a matter of fact. So very good. Congratulations to Ellie De La Cruz. They'll be selling him next year for a bag of Cheetos and a player to be named later. I know that. As far as other scores, Big D, I'll give you a couple of other scores.
So I guess that's a no? You don't like them anymore?
Still? I love the Reds. I'll die with them. I've been a Reds fan since I'm a kid, since 75. I got no choice, but I'm
Sounds like it.
Yeah, well, you know. And Brewers and Cardinals tied at 4, top of the 8th. The Tigers over the Cubs 4-2, top of the 9th. Athletics right now leading the Rays 1-0, bottom of the 4th. And well, I'm going to get to this quick story, Big D, if I may. Wisconsin Democratic Governor Tony Evers booed at DNC for Green Bay Packers reference, then struggles to speak. Is it Evers or Evers? I don't know.
I think it's Evers.
Evers. Okay, Evers stopped speaking.
I think it's Evers, actually.
Okay, Evers stopped speaking and gasped
tomato.
for air multiple times after the booze. Jackson Thompson of Fox News. Ohio State candidate Bernie Moreno calls out Democrats, and Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers apparently isn't built to handle the Chicago Bears' 12th man. When the Democratic governor tried to take his turn to declare the state's party delegates for Kamala Harris at the DNC Tuesday, the hometown Chicago crowd booed Evers. Evers. So relentlessly over a sports reference, he had a hard time finishing the declaration. Evers stood in front of a crowd of Wisconsin delegates wearing cheesehead hats, the famed head topper for the fans of the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are the Chicago Bears' fiercest rivals, dating back over 100 years. The Bears and Packers share the oldest rivalry in the NFL. After all those meetings, their fans don't like each other, to put it plainly.
I was going to say, I'm sorry, Slick, is that Oprah? She's not even on the list.
Oprah's supposed to be there tonight. Yeah, she's there. That's Oprah. Yeah.
She's not even on the official list of speakers.
Yep, she's supposed to be there tonight. I heard that.
All right, Slick, anything else?
She was
sorry, I cut off your
no worries.
Tony Evers.
Well, anyway, yeah.
I think it's
Evers, either way, they hate him over there. He wasn't a big hit. So.
I think it's Evers, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's a wrap.
All right,
good evening.
Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. LFS6P is the code to use. If you're watching on social media, make sure you subscribe, like, and support the channel. We appreciate it. We're going to turn it over to Charlie Kirk, I believe, here at some point. But in the meantime, while we wait for him to pick it up, we'll go live here to the DNC Night 3. You've got Oprah right now. She's not even on the calendar. You should have the Honorable Wes Moore, Governor of Maryland, Pete Buttigieg. Then you have a performance from John Legend, performance from Sheila E., Amy Klobuchar, Benjamin Ingman, and then, of course, about 2 a.m., seemed like, maybe not, maybe more like 11:30, 12, you're going to get the Honorable Tim Walz, Governor of Minnesota, and your vice presidential candidate. So let's go live to Oprah, and we will see you guys tomorrow night. Slick's off the rest of the week. He will not see you. He's got his big event over the next 2 nights.
And I got my fantasy draft Monday.
All right, Slick, have a great couple days. We'll see you on Monday. Kevin Downey Jr., I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll be here.
Rick Delgado will be here tomorrow. Rick will be off on Friday. So Friday, it's just me and KDJ. Oh, man, look out.
I may have to call in for odds makers, Big D. I might call in.
All right after this, we'll take you to the DNC. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Commitment. It requires being open to the hard work and the heart work of democracy. And every now and then, it requires standing up to life's bullies.